All right, everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV for today's live stream watch along with the friendly against Mainz. My name's Matt, and I'll hopefully be joined by a couple of the other lads and lasses later on in the show as well. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. Kickoff today at 3 o'clock. Welcome to everyone joining along. We just to clarify a couple of the comments coming in before, we won't be showing the game here, but we thought we'd provide you with a bit of company on in today's heatwave, and also maybe a bit of alternative commentary from what we had in the last game against 1816 Munich, unless you want fact files on every single player, where they were born and what they've done so far. The game will be streamed on NUFC TV on their website, so why not get that up on one screen and get us up on the other. This will obviously be the last pre-season friendly when we're away in Austria, and then obviously we've got the Benfica game up next, followed by the two home games at St James's Park. So we'll see how the lads get on today, and it's an interesting lineup that Eddie Howe's gone with today. Completely changed from the team that started against 1860 Munich, and it'll be a challenge against Mainz today because they're a much better side than the two teams we've faced so far. No disrespect to Gateshead or Munich, but Mainz obviously in Germany's top tier, so will provide definitely a bit more of a challenge for the lads. So without further ado, you can see the team kind of ticking along at the bottom of the screen already, but I'll just share my screen and get the full lineup for you to read through, including the subs. So if we open this up here, so like I say, Eddie Howe going with a completely different 11 today. Obviously Martin Dubravka starting goal, came off the bench in the last game, and as did a lot of these players. A lot of changes made in that second half of the game. Kieran Trippier wearing the number 2 shirt now that Kieran Clark's departed the club. Fabi, obviously these squad numbers won't be ironed in until the start of the season. Obviously there's still players to leave, probably still players to come in as well. So squad numbers not confirmed for the season coming, but that's what the team are wearing today. Obviously, you can see Bruno and Sean keeping their numbers so far, but we'll see what they line up with next season. But yeah, Trippier, Share, Botman and Dummett at the back four today. Interesting to see that Eddie Howe's gone with that. Paul Dummett getting a lot of minutes in pre-season, perhaps one of the names that was touted that might leave, or he's a good rotation player. We know he's rewarded with another contract, an extension to his contract rather, and a full first team debut for Sven Botman today. We'll see how he does. Very impressive in the second half when he came on, looked the part. And then moving on to the midfield, then it's a typical 4-3-3 that we've become accustomed to under Eddie Howe. Bruno Guimaraes, Sean Longstaff and Joe Linton. Sean Longstaff hoping to keep up his record of scoring in every pre-season friendly so far after a rocket against Munich and a well-taken goal against Gateshead. Obviously, Bruno, only 30 minutes on the pitch last week, but got a goal and an assist as well. So impressive from him in his appearance, as we've become so well accustomed to in those 6 months that he's already had with us. And then Joe Linton getting his place in the midfield, rounding off that midfield for us. And we know there's no such thing as a friendly for Joe Linton after that full-blooded challenge last week that got him in the book. So we'll hope to see some of that enthusiasm from him today. And then the front three for us, starting the game anyway: Miguel Almiron, Ryan Fraser and Chris Wood. Chris Wood obviously will probably be number 2 striker to Callum Wilson this year, but obviously is a good rotation player to have, good to have for depth, and obviously got the assist for Bruno's goal last week. Some good hold-up play for him. Ryan Fraser hoping to stay injury-free going into this season, and Almiron still keen on staying at the club despite some of the rumours flying around. But that's how we line up today. And then obviously a massive bench, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of these individuals coming on in the second half. It's Pope, Lascelles, Shelby, Wilson, saint-maximin, Ritchie, Target, Kraft, Murphy, Matty Longstaff, Joe Willock, Elliot Anderson, Dan Burn, and Turner Cook is on the bench as well. So we'll see a large number of those coming on in the second half, I imagine, and hopefully not before, provided we get no injuries. Interesting to see that Jamal Lascelles is on the bench today. I know it's only a pre-season friendly and Eddie Howe will rotate, but obviously he has stated recently that Jamal Lascelles will continue as club captain this season, which is a very interesting decision considering that, you know, he's probably not going to be part of the starting 11 for a lot of these games so far in the season. So let us know your thoughts in that in the comments down below. And while you're there, drop a like on the video as well. It helps us out massively. I hope you enjoy the show today, and we'll try and read out a lot of your comments on the show and get the interaction. So let us know your thoughts on today's game, what you make of Eddie Howe's decision to keep Jamal Lascelles as captain. Are you reckoning that's a bad decision, or is it good to keep the consistency going, keep the dressing room happy? Let us know all in the comments down below. How has pre-season gone so far? Are you happy with the results? Are you wanting a few more faces in through the door before the season starts? Or are you happy with the squad we've got now? And how optimistic are you going into this season? Are you thinking that we're going to get, top 10 European football? Will we be scraping down at the bottom end of the table in the relegation zone? I hope not. Bloody hope not. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below, and I'll try and rattle through as much of them as possible. And like I say, hopefully I'll be joined on the show by a couple of the other members of the channel. Yeah, smash that like button. So Voice of BBC One taking you through today's friendly. Yes, thank you very much for the support, Sam. Yeah, if you're looking to watch the actual stream of the game, lads, it's not on our channel today. We don't have the rights to be showing you that, but thought you'd provide you with a bit of company and a bit of commentary for you as well. If you want to mute the NUFC TV stream, that stream is live already. You can just see the players warming up on Newcastle's website. So if you want to get that up on one screen and me up on another, that would be fantastic. Steve, unfortunately, not available for the watch along. He's at work today. Soccer Steve, all the best to you, mate, and I'm sure we'll see you very shortly. If you haven't checked out his videos on the channel recently, he's done some very good stuff on scouting networks and who we should pick up from leagues across Europe. So I'd highly recommend you check that out after today's stream. We'll be ending the stream at around full time. I've got a dash, so we won't be having any reaction as such straight after the game, but we might be bringing you some a little bit later on. Hello, everyone saying hello in the comments. Jay in Atlanta. All right, mate, how are you doing? And I know we've obviously stolen your CEO off you, so thank you very much for that this week. And Lee and Beth did a great video on that earlier this week, breaking down some of the positives and negatives of that appointment by the club. So like I say, go and check that out after the stream's done. Jonathan, hi, mate. You all right? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming along. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video. Bobby, it's on NUFC TV. Yeah, if there's people in the comments just wondering where the game's being streamed, it's over on NUFC TV. We won't be showing it here today, but stay tuned. And yeah, if you're abroad, like I know Jay in Atlanta will be, you might struggle to get it on their website. So if you've got a VPN or something to watch NUFC TV stream, great. If not, we'll bring you live updates here on Newcastle Fans TV. I'll run you through all the action. I'll even do a bit of commentary for you if that's what you want back at home. Anthony chipping in earlier about Lascelles, obviously today being confirmed that he'll continue as club captain going into this season. Then Anthony thinks he's a liability Lascelles, he calls him. So yeah, it's an interesting decision given that he's not the highest quality individual. No disrespect to Lascelles, he's been a loyal servant to the club. I think he's been here for 6 years now or something, and obviously has been club captain for a couple of seasons. And you do need those leaders in the dressing room. But doesn't necessarily transfer to out on the pitch with Lascelles anyway, because he won't always be starting, especially with the arrival of Botman, and then you've got Fabian Schär and Dan Burn, and even Paul Dummett might fill in at centre back. We've seen him getting minutes at left back already in pre-season, and he's lining up today. Paul Dummett. He is lining up today in the left-back position. Matty Targett on the bench for the start of this game. But like I say, there'll be plenty of substitutes and changes and stuff. It is pre-season, of course. This is all about testing stuff, seeing how it works, seeing how individuals gel with each other, the chemistry, finding out who works where, trying people in different positions they might not usually play, trying out different formations. And then when the first game of the season comes around against Forest, we'll have a bit better idea of who's going to play where and what Eddie Howe's starting 11 is going to be on that first day of the season. Just looking at the stream at the moment, and there's plenty of Newcastle fans over there. Nice to see them making the effort to travel all the way over there. I wish I could. If I wasn't working, I would be there. Mixed in with the Mainz fans who haven't had to travel as far. Obviously, a lot closer to their home than it is to ours. So hopefully we will get underway in about 5 minutes' time there. Sun is shining in Austria, but don't think it's quite as hot as it is here. I'm sweating as I'm talking to you. I've got the new green kit, I'm going to call it. I'm not going to call it anything else. It's lovely. If you haven't already got it yourself, everyone at home, I'd highly recommend it. It's a lovely kit in the flesh, and it's even got the slight details of the street maps underneath it on the replica version, not on the pro version for some reason. Don't know why. More expensive and you get less detail on a stick-on patch, so it won't give you chafed nipples. At least that's what the players tell me. That's the reason for the patch on the pro kit. We'll see what kit the players line up with today. Mainz wearing red and white, or their home kit is red and white. So we'll see if we line up with our away strip, or I can't imagine we'll line up with our home kit if they're also going to be in their home kit. But we'll bring you news of that as soon as we find it. Simon commenting on the starting 11 today. Would have loved to seen Elliot Anderson play alongside Bruno and Big Joe. Yeah, I would have loved that today. I'm sure Anderson will get a run out today. I'm sure he'll get some minutes, but it would have been nice to see him play alongside those two, have a bit more freedom. Because, in my opinion anyway, you can let me know what you think, but I don't think he got on the ball as much as he would have liked to in that first half. He couldn't really get a foothold in that game against Munich. And we played a lot better in the second half, scoring all three in the second half. But yeah, Anderson, would have loved to see him just alongside Bruno. I don't really mind who that third midfielder is, but Bruno and Anderson, I'd love to see a bit of link-up play between those two. So hopefully Eddie Howe gives us that today and subs one of them on and leaves the other on as well. But we'll see as the game goes on. Obviously, we hope for no injuries in pre-season, because obviously that'll be awful before the season even gets going. But we'll expect rotation in the second half and stuff. So yeah, would love to see him get some more minutes today. And I'm enjoying seeing Eddie Howe rotating the entire 11 at times, giving players minutes up and down the pitch. Almiron getting a chance to strut his stuff, Ryan Fraser as well. And everyone knows, if you've watched these watch-alongs towards the end of last season, I bloody love Chris Wood. So I'm glad he's getting a run out as well. So that's how we line up today. The starting 11 completely changed from the starting 11 in the last game, but obviously the team that finished the game last, I can't speak, I'm tripping over my tongue already, and we're not even kicked off yet. The 11 that finished the game against Munich, it's pretty similar to what we've got today. Not quite the same, I don't think anyway. I might be wrong. I might be chatting rubbish here. But yeah, so that's that. And then to bring you more important news than Newcastle's game, because who cares about Newcastle's game? We've got a charity match coming up next Sunday as well. If people want to come down to the Newcastle Foundation and watch us and support us against the Magpie channel, I'll be there. Lee will be there. Johnny will be there. Beth, Liam, a lot of the guys are going to be there. I think Carl's even trekking up to come and join us. So if you want to come meet us in person, say hello and support from the sidelines, it would be everything. And if you go on our socials, head over to any of our personal Twitters or Newcastle Fans TV's Twitter, you'll find a link to a Just Giving page or a donation page. We're raising money for the foundation. It's to raise awareness and funds for male mental health, or just mental health in general. So it'd be nice if next Sunday you can come and support a proper team, Newcastle Fans TV, and come and watch us embarrass ourselves. And I might have a heart attack on the pitch because I've not ran in about a year. So yeah, if you want to see that in the flesh, come on down. You're more than welcome. And David, going back to the Lascelles situation, is Lascelles going to basically be a cheerleader? Maybe that might be the case. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he is. He's obviously a solid option, not the most consistent player in the world, but you can see him obviously remaining on as club captain. You can see him being an influence in the dressing room, being an influence off the bench, and just having that experience. Because at the end of the day, he isn't quite an experienced player now. We obviously signed him when he was quite young, and I think he's in his mid-20s now. But any young players coming up through the academy, or even new signings coming in that need help settling in, like Botman, will probably look to Lascelles for a bit of leadership. I'm not saying that Botman isn't a leader himself at all, but just to gel with the team and stuff, you do need those people that have been here, that know the club inside out, have been here for years. So maybe he's a cheerleader, call it what you want. He'll be part of the team unless he for some reason gets sold or loaned towards the end of the window. But I can't see that happening now that Eddie Howe's made him club captain. So the team's coming out onto the pitch now. Yeah, we are wearing our black and white strip, the home kit, because Mainz's kit is a solid red top with white shorts. So there's no real clash of colours there, which is good to see. Obviously, yet to release the third kit for us this year. They obviously got the this one on, and then the black and white one. But we've seen rumors and leaks and stuff, unless I've completely missed the launch of it. It's live right now on NUFC TV. If you're wondering where to watch the game, keep us on alongside it, and I'll bring you some match commentary as well as some reaction. And let us know in the comments throughout the game what you're thinking of the game as it's going on. You know, are you impressed with the players? Stuff need to change if we're going to get a win today, and we hope to keep that winning streak going. You know, if we could go unbeaten in pre-season, that would be fantastic for momentum going into the season. We've got Jabba Dabba Doo saying, I predict 5-1. I'd love to say that we will win 5-1. I don't know if he's meant that 5-1 to Mainz or 5-1 to Newcastle. I'm going to presume it's Newcastle. And yeah, well, if you get your predictions in early then, lads, before the game's about to kick off in a couple of minutes, but get your predictions in early. And if you do a score prediction, let us know who you think's going to get on the score sheet for us then. And if you're out enjoying the sunshine and you've got us on in the background, I'm very jealous. I'm sitting inside at the moment. I will be going out for a beer or two later. The match is definitely live. A few comments still coming in the chat. It's live on NUFC TV. If you're struggling to get a stream, they might not have tweeted a link. I'll check the Twitter account for you now. But if you go to Newcastle United's website, they have tweeted a link 4 minutes ago. If you go onto Newcastle's Twitter feed, they've tweeted a direct link to watch the game live. So, and thanks for Jay in Atlanta. If you're struggling to find the website, that's the URL for it. Just pop that in your browser and keep us open in a different tab or a different screen. Alan, you're more than welcome. It's a pleasure doing these watch-alongs. I don't get to do them very often because when I'm working, I work on Saturdays and stuff when the games are. So I don't get to do them as often as I like. But I like chatting to all you lot and shouting at a screen and embarrassing myself when I get angry. We're about to get underway here. Then Mike's kicking us off. A little bit windy in Austria, it seems. The shirt's billowing in the wind. And if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the video. And if you're not enjoying the video already, it's about to get even better because we've got Mr. Dressing Gown himself, but he's not wearing one today. Welcome, Liam. How are you doing, mate? You all right? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. Hello, lad. Can you hear me, Liam? Hello? No, he's not. He's there, but he cannot hear us. It's nice to see him picking his nose on stream. Beth should be joining us hopefully soon. She's out at the minute, but obviously watching the game from home. We'll try and get Liam back in the conversation if he can hear me. Thanks. I do love this kit. I'll lower the camera down, but it's lovely in person. The images don't do it justice. So if you can get along to the club shop, and support the club or buy it off whatever website you want. It's a lovely kit. It's one of my favourite away kits we've had in a few years now. David Little weighing in on the Lascelles debate, saying I would personally get rid of Lascelles. There was a lot of talk about that going into the start of the transfer window, wasn't there? Shifting a lot of dead wood, and his name was thrown around a couple of times. Not necessarily fair to him because of his service to the club. But, if there's this talk of revolution at Newcastle, we're going forwards. They're the type of players the type of positions, especially like with bringing in Botman, that we want to be building on for the future. And Lascelles, obviously not everyone's favourite, but you're more than entitled to have your opinion. And it absolutely is exciting being a Newcastle fan. Well, I say it's very exciting before the season starts. If we start losing games as soon as the season starts, then I think there'll still be a lot of optimism, obviously, with the new owners and the new players coming in. But so here we go. Then we're about 2 minutes into the game. We've not really had an attack so far. Neither of them might, to be honest. It looks like Trippier's wearing the armband today for us, by the way. It wasn't on the team sheet who would be captain. But Trippier stand-in captain in the absence of Lascelles today, which we would have expected. We're attacking down the right-hand side. It looks like the screen's a bit blurry because the camera quality is not the best, but it looks like Almiron is lining up on the right wing and Fraser on the left. So going for the option of having inverted wingers there. Yeah, it is Ryan Fraser on the left-hand side and Miggy Almiron. Welcome to Robbie, new member. Thank you very much for joining the channel. And if you want to become a new member too, the link is in the description down below. It costs mere pennies to join. You get exclusive content here on Newcastle Fans TV. You get first access to videos and exclusive looks and stuff behind that. So join Robbie, join the club. And come and support us on the channel. And if you don't want to become a member, but you still do enjoy supporting the channel, drop a like on the video and subscribe to us as well. You don't want to miss any of the stuff we've got coming up. Very exciting stuff on Newcastle Fans TV. And Soccer Steve, keeping the channel going, keeping the lights on. $9.99 donation. So thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it. Some Mainz players to watch. Number 8, Leandro Barreiro Martins. Number 19, Anthony. I'm going to go with Kachi. And number 10, Angelo Fulgini. Kachi was one of my favourite players at Strasbourg last year. Excellent left back. Well, he's playing at left back, so he'll be shaping up against Miggy Almiron today then. We'll see how he gets on. We'll see if Almiron can turn him inside out and his legs to jelly. Number 8 and number 19 to watch out for as well. I've not actually looked at the Mainz lineup today, so that would be a good start, wouldn't it, to see how the opposition actually line up. Finished 8th in the Bundesliga last year, did Mainz, so no mean feat for the club. Obviously, we signed Yoshinori Muto from them a couple of seasons ago, which didn't go very well for. I mean, you can understand why we did. You know, he got 20 goals and 66 appearances for the club when he was at Mainz. So you can see why we went for him, but then obviously only the one goal for us in the when he played for us. I'm sorry, the reason I'm tripping over my words here because I'm looking at Mainz's team sheet and they've tweeted a very interesting team sheet out here. I'm gonna guess that's. Oh, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Lovely stuff. I added you a bit earlier on, but I don't think you could hear as I was shouting at you. You all right, mate? How you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm enjoying the sunshine. It's a bit hot, like I'm sweating, but it's been good.
Yeah, well, it's the first day back after 2 weeks on holiday, so I'm just doing this in my lunch.
Must be nice then. Must be nice. You've been watching the games while you've been away then?
No, I was just pissed for 7 days. So
yeah, don't blame me. It's only pre-season.
Yeah, I came back to 1,413 messages in the WhatsApp group. So
bloody hell. Yeah, we're pretty active. Pretty active here at Newcastle Fans TV. But yeah, fucking hell. It must be nice. Must be nice getting away. But yeah, just chatting away, saying that Mainz have got a very interesting team sheet here. So yeah, it looks like Robin Zentner in goal, Vidmer, Kor, Hack, Bell, Ingvarts and Fulgini, Onisowell, Stach and Leitch.
To be fair, I haven't got a foggiest of who any of these players are.
I think there's a few new signings in there. Their top scorer from last season, who is Burkhart, doesn't seem to be involved. I think he may have moved on to greener shores, and if he hasn't, he's not on the team sheet there. Can't see him anyway. But yeah, like I said from Steve, players to watch out for. Number 8, Leandro Barreiro Martins. Number 19, Kachi, and number 10, Fulgini. Fulgini playing at left back today. Yeah. What are your score predictions then, Liam?
Oh, it's a hard one because we're probably going to swap at half time, aren't we? So it's probably just going to kill the flow of the game. So I think I'm going to go with 2-1, 2-0 or 2-1.
I'll take that. Yeah, obviously better opposition than Munich were, and obviously better than Gateshead. No disrespect to them, but yeah, bigger challenge for us today. Our top team in German's top league. So yeah, 2-0, 2-1. I'll take that.
I've seen the day that we're going to play Burnley behind closed doors in Lisbon.
That's a strange one.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, they're relegated to the Championship now, so we should be doing them in. Realistically,
realistically. Chris would have it.
I hope so. We relegated them and then spanked them in pre-season. I'd love that.
And then signed probably the 2 best players.
Almiron's on the attack on the right-hand side. Then 7 minutes in, Bruno distributing the play out to Paul Dummett, who's got himself into a forward position, linking up with Ryan Fraser on that side. And Bruno's tried to feed a pass into Joe Linton there. Joe Linton kind of drifting into a number 9 spot temporarily, but the pass was a bit loose from Bruno. Not like him at all. Keeper's wearing a weird neon yellow top, but then white shorts and socks. So it's an interesting matchup. What do you make of the transfers so far, then obviously a lot of players coming in. I say a few players coming in, but good quality players. I think we still need a few more.
Ideally, I think we need an attacker of sorts. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's a winger or a winger that can play forward, like as a out-and-out striker or whatnot. But I think it showed last season that we struggled when Callum Wilson wasn't playing. So I think Nteke was the one. Do you know what I mean? But then obviously he seemed like a rotten apple. So I'm glad he eventually didn't come to the club.
Yeah,
I think we need at least like a winger or a striker come in.
I've been linked with a few players. We've been linked with Diaby from Leverkusen. We've been linked with Jack Harrison from Leeds, who said he refused really yesterday to comment on his future. But I don't know how I feel about that, because I've watched a fair bit of Jack Harrison, and he is an upgrade on what we've got, but you'd probably end up paying 30+ mil for him just because, you know, they're a direct league rival and he's English and they don't really need to sell, to be honest. Now they've got rid of Phillips and Rafinha, so you're probably going to pay over the odds for him, and you could probably get a better player for the money. So I'm not particularly enthused with that link, but Diaby, I'd love to see him at the club. I
just think, like you said, he's an upgrade on probably Miggy and Fraser, so it would not be worth just signing him. Like obviously, and we've got like another month to go to the end of the transfer window, so we'll be able to sign it. Do you know what I mean? I think we've improved so far with back line. We just need to go forward now.
Yeah. I can expect probably a couple more players to head out the door, just because obviously you can only name so many players in your first team squad, and people that are going to miss out on that are going to want to play proper first team football. Obviously, with a couple of loans out already, but I can imagine we'll maybe loan some more players out. Don't picture too many players being sold on a permanent basis, unless they're
I think it's the wages, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I think Henrik was on 50 grand a week, and he was only meant to be a bit pop player.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, Hendrick and Clark obviously heading out on loan to championship sides. Probably, no disrespect to the pair of them, but probably their level. And
so we can.
You're watching dodgy videos on your laptop there, Liam, getting the adverts.
No, I was going to. I just wanted to see how many likes we had on the YouTube video, so I just went on YouTube and then forgot that I was playing out loud. So, not an amazing moment, but
10 minutes into the game, then no real big chances for either side. Miggy pressing the goalkeeper a bit earlier on, probably the closest we've come to a goal scoring or creating a goal scoring opportunity. Bruno tried a couple of passes in behind, but nothing coming off just yet. But we're coming away on this right hand side with Miggy now into the box, looks for a cross in, takes a deflection, and the keeper will claim that one. Yeah, good run for. I don't understand why we're playing inverted wingers with Miggy and Fraser, because Miggy cannot use his right foot. So even if he gets down on that right wing, he's not going to cross it in on his right foot. He's going to cut back on his left, and by that point, you've lost all your advantage. I don't understand the logic there.
To be fair, he can't use his left foot as well. So
yeah.
What on 108 likes?
I reckon we can hit 200. You know.
Yeah.
Or is that?
We've got 305 people in there watching us, so I'm sure we could get up to at least 200.
Exactly. So if you haven't already liked the video, if you're watching at home, drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel while you're down there, and let us know in the comments if you've got any questions for us, if you know any of our thoughts going into the season, or if you want to let us know what your thoughts are on the team and on the transfers, on the lineup. Do you think Eddie Howe's a great manager? Do you think he's a rubbish one? Obviously, we've chatted a bit about the Lascelles situation.
If the midfield didn't change and we went three in the middle, what three would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question. See, I was having this debate the other day. Obviously, Bruno's nailed on.
Yeah.
And then Joe Linton's probably just got to stay on there just because of the form he had last season. I think he keeps his place until he drops off at the very least.
Yeah.
I'm probably still starting John Joe just for a bit of experience. I don't know what, like, I like Willock, but he's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And then Sean, and I like Sean, obviously local lad, and he's playing well in pre-season, to be fair to him, but I just don't think he's good enough to be starting ahead of those other players. So I think I'd probably go John Joe, Joe Linton, and Bruno. What about you?
I probably would have swapped John Joe for Longstaff, really. To be fair, I completely forgot about Joe Willock was even at the club.
Yeah, it's tricky, like, because then obviously you got Matty as well, and there's being linked with Paqueta and different players that might come into that midfield.
Yeah,
it's difficult because, like, obviously Jonjo, he's got experience. He's obviously on a lot of money as well. He was captain for a while in Lascelles' absence. Joe Linton has still not played a full season at central midfield. Obviously played well there last year, but a lot of it could be form based. He's a very physical player, but does he have the awareness, the mentality to play a full season at central midfield? He's got a good relationship with Bruno, so hopefully that. Oh, that's a dirty challenge there. I say dirty. He's just lunged for the ball and Mainz player. Almiron was away on that right side, a long ball in behind, and it's number 2. I think that might be it might be Steve's favourite player, that number 2. Oh, wait, it's number 42. 47. I need my eyes tested.
42.
Yeah, he's just coming. Miggy's got there first, nicked the ball past him, and he's just brought him down. It's not. It's Hack. That's funny. Like Hack by name, Hack by nature. It's not Steve's favourite little man. But we've got a dangerous free kick on this right wing. Then looks like it's Bruno stood over it, and Longstaff's. Oh no, it's Trippier stood over it. Sorry. Yeah, camera quality is not the best in Austria. 14 minutes in then. And then we've got everyone up for the corner. Botman, we know, is an aerial threat from his time at Lille. He's got a few goals for them. He loves to attack the ball, so hopefully he can get on the end of this, or even Chris Wood. All in from trips. Headed out, and Dummett will bring it down and restart the attack. Fraser in support. Go on then, Dummett. He tries to beat his man on the outside with pace and just cannot, because it's Paul Dummett. And the ball goes out for a goal kick, I think. Yeah. Question coming in from Jay in Atlanta then. Do we think keep 4 at the back? Can you see us playing any other formations with our improved defence? I don't know. I can't see us moving to a 3 or a 5, to be honest. Purely because I think both Trippier and Target are better as fullbacks rather than wing backs.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really have the depth to be playing 3 or 5 when we've got the centre backs that we've got. Like Botman's obviously quality coming, Shares quality, Burns quality, but then you're leaving yourself a bit restricted if you go to that formation and then you get a couple injuries or suspensions and you've got to rely on Paul Dummett and Jamal Lascelles to step in a back 5. I think we will stick with a back 4, and of course, if you're with a back 4, then you can have that midfield 3. Because if you're in a back 5 and you have a midfield 3, then you've got just two players ahead of you in the final third of the pitch. So you're taking something away from the attacking side of your game if you do stick with that. But I wouldn't mind us switching it up. I don't want us to become a team that becomes reliant on one system and one formation, because you just get figured out, like Leicester did after they won the league. It was a great formation and tactics that they used to win the league, but the season afterwards they were just figured out by everyone. How to deal with it. So I think we will stick with 4. But I can see us changing it for certain teams. I think Eddie Howe's aware enough to adapt the team and the tactics for each individual game. So I don't know. What about you, Liam? What do you reckon?
I think it'll stay 4 at the back, really. I think it could also, if whether I did go to 3, I think it would depend on who we've got available. Like if Botman, Shaw, and Byrne got injured, because obviously they're the 3 main centre backs at the moment, aren't they? So if them 3 got injured, it would be interesting to see what players or what positions would play them in.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to Sunday?
I'm both. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also bricking it because I've not exercised in like a good year, so I might collapse on the pitch. But it'll be a good game, and looking forward to actually getting on the ball this time. Are you going to put in another man of the match performance?
Hopefully, but I might be extremely hungover. Like
pro athlete, going out the day before.
I'll just have like sick bags like around the side of the pitch and then continue playing.
Yeah, we've got should have a few numbers. I'm not sure if we're playing 5 or 7 aside, because I think we've got enough for 7. So
yeah, does that? Yeah, because I think I can't remember if Beth said she was playing or not.
Yeah, and we'll see how Josh's ankle's holding up.
Yeah,
obviously he's got his walk coming up as well. So he doesn't want to be getting injured. So we'll see. But yeah, there's a few lads. I've not met a few of the lads actually in person. I've not met Adam yet. I've not met Carl in person. So I think that'll be the first time I'll meet both of them.
I think Carl's the only one I haven't met. Obviously, then you got Steve, but unless Steve flies over, I'm never going to meet him.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we've seen him enough on video. That's close enough, Steve. I'm joking. I love you. Yeah. If you ever want to fly over, mate, you've got a place to stay.
Going to smash them, the Magpie channel.
Yeah, should we start trash talking?
Yeah.
You're rubbish. We'll be.
I don't even know who they're going to have playing for them, because from what I've realised, I think they've only got two people, like the main lad and the camera person. But
they'll have a lot of loanees coming in for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll smash them regardless. We've got the team chemistry, you see.
Yeah,
that's what they're lacking.
Well, at least when we make runs, we might actually get the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right then, Mainz got a dangerous free kick, but it's headed away by Joe Linton. Comes back in though, and they go up for a header. It's still hanging around the Newcastle box, but Chris Wood heads away. But Mainz has still got the ball. Trying to play it back in, and we finally clear our lines. But Mainz have got it now. Is he offside? He's going to whip the ball in. I don't know. I'm just saying he because I've no idea who any of the Mainz players are, and I can barely see the numbers, to be honest. But I can tell you that Mainz still have the ball. They've got to throw in it on our left-hand side, their right-hand side towards the corner flag. Their captain, Vidmar, going to take it into the box. It's a long throw in. And it's well won in the air by, I think that was Paul Dummett that won that. So well up, son. And he's headed it off the attacker. So we've got a goal kick. No big chances for either team. I don't think either keeper's made a save, to be honest. So we'll see how the rest of the game plays out.
Did Darlow fly out of this camp?
I think so. I think he's flown out, but I don't think he's been on any of the team sheets. I'll have a look. I'll check now.
I thought because there was strong rumours that he was going to Middlesbrough like dead early on in the window.
Yeah, he was linked with him in January as well.
Yeah,
but obviously with Scott Gillespie as well, and with Pope coming in, then you really only tend to have three senior goalkeepers, don't you? And then he's been linked with West Brom a couple of weeks ago. I'm just trying to see if he's actually flown out because. I've not seen any pictures of him now I think about it.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's taken a 30-man squad.
You would assume he's in that, like.
Yeah. Carl Darlow, accept. 14 Darlow down the pecking order. Got no complaints. That's good. We've got full keep. Whether we keep Forgy the transfer, I don't know. Okay, so Eddie Howe's not been drawn on any speculation on who he's going to let go, if anyone. We'll need to. Oh, the 44-year-old. Obviously, got rid of. I say got rid of. We've parted ways with Woodman already, and obviously Isaac Hayden and Clark and Hendrick already heading out, and departing the club. So we've trimmed a few of the branches that'll. Be part of our 25-man squad, but you'd expect at least one, maybe two more signings before the end of the window. And then the likes of maybe like Dwight Gale, obviously not necessarily going to be part of the first team picture going forwards.
Going forward, when was he part of the first team picture over the last 2 years?
So there's a few players that will obviously head out, and Darlow could be one of them. Not on the bench today, Darlow. Neither's Gale. So obviously both of them linked with various clubs. Gale linked with a couple of clubs down towards the West Midlands area. Also linked with Middlesbrough as well. So we'll see.
123 likes at the moment. Like,
hey, we're nearly there, up to 150. Come on then, lads. We've still got loads of you watching at home. Smash the like button if you haven't already, and get us to 150. And then after that, we'll say 200 because why not? It's a good target to aim for. Bruno then is brought down in the midfield, just outside the centre circle in our own half. Referee signaled for a drinks break then. So 22 minutes in, nothing to shout about for either side. Both of us struggling to kind of get on the ball and dominate possession and dictate play. But Almiron, probably the best of the attacking bunch, has had a few chances down that right-hand side. But yeah, I'm just still struggling to understand why we're playing the inverted wingers, because every time he's cut back on his left foot, he's either lost possession or drawn a foul. He's not actually created anything from that side. So, yeah, Jay pointing out the yellow noon sticker is hideous even at low resolution. It's absolutely minging, isn't it? I hate it with a passion. I quite like the kits they've released so far, but I hate that sleeve sponsor. Like, this kit. So my brother bought us this kit for my birthday, and I said, don't bother buying it unless it's got no sleeve sponsor. If it's got a sleeve sponsor, I don't want it, because it just ruins the whole kit. It's me. I don't know what you think. I don't know if you're that passionate about it, but I hate it.
Well, it's 8 million or whatever it is in the bank, so I'm not particularly bothered. Do you know what I mean? At least it's on the arm of it's on the sleeves, not like directly in the middle of the chest. So that's the only thing.
It's just like, how hard is it to adapt your logo to the kit colors? Like, there's so many teams that have sponsors that, I mean, even like Fun 88, they've got the green on this one. They've got they adapted their colors to suit the kit. And you know,
I don't think Fun 88 probably had much choice. So he was either stay sponsor or change the colors. Do you know what I mean?
True. It was like last year when we had the what was it, the tire company on the arm, and it's like, I don't know, it just really bugs us. Like, it's really not that big a deal at the end of the day, but yeah, it just still bugs me. Sam asking, are you okay, Liam? Not in a dressing gown, not on the sesh?
I had to go to South Shields this morning, so I had to get out my dressing gown, and I've been on it for nearly 2 weeks on the sesh, so I think it's worthwhile having a bit of a break. Let go until Saturday.
Mainz finished 8th in the Bundesliga last season, for those curious at home. Obviously, Bundesliga dominated by the bigger sides. They're pretty much like a 2-team league, two or 3-team league, if we're being generous. But then still a decent achievement. 8th, not bad for Mainz. Top scorer, Burkhardt, with 11 goals. Not featuring today, I don't think. But then again, I don't really know who's playing for Mainz, because the team sheet's bloody nuts.
I'm probably going to have to jump off shortly, because I'm going to have to go back to work in about 3 minutes. So
that's all right, lad. You just get yourself away whenever you need to.
No worries, pal. I thought Richie would have went to Bournemouth, because it's been the ongoing transfer saga for the last 2 years.
I know, yeah, but he's involved on the bench today, and he seems to be like he's going to be a squad rotation player, at least at the moment. But we'll see if Bournemouth come from him. I'm sure he'd wouldn't mind a move back down to the south coast. We know he's still got friends and family and that down there, so we'll see when the transfer window shuts where he'll be, whether he'll be in the black and red or the black and white.
Yeah. Well, they're in the Premier League now again, on the Bournemouth. Scott Parker is the manager, isn't it, if I remember correctly?
Of all people, aye. But yeah, Bournemouth obviously making a few signings already. No one particularly mind-blowing as such. To be honest, of the promoted sides that have come up, Forest have impressed me the most with their business. Splashing a fair bit of cash, which is what you need to do nowadays to stay afloat in the Prem.
But then Fulham did it a couple of years ago, and they
right, exactly. Nothing's guaranteed, is it?
No. I wonder if Mitrovic is going to score more than 5 this season. So what did he get last season? Like 40 odd or something, or close to 40?
It's one of those, isn't it? Like he could come up. Yeah, like a goal every game, if not more. Like obviously quality championship player, and he wasn't bad for us, just inexperienced in that. But it's a different league, a different world entirely, isn't it, when he come up to the Prem? So we'll see how he does. We've obviously got good players around him, but they've lost Cavallero, I think his name. Not Cavallero, I forget his name. The one that went to Liverpool, Carvalho.
Yeah, I know, like a 19-year-old. Yeah.
But they've made a couple of signings themselves of Fulham, so I think they've signed Andreas Pereira from Man United. So we'll see if he can have better luck than he did at Man United for 5 years, with maybe like 4 appearances or something stupid.
Yeah, well, it's just like the whole situation with Jesse Lingard. He seems to be outpricing himself.
Still a free agent.
Like 2 years of his career as well.
Yeah. Bruno tracking back there against the Mainz player who'd made a good 30-yard run, shoulder to shoulder, but the Mainz player goes down at the ground and the ref falls for it and gives a free kick to Mainz about 30 yards out from our goal. Probably not shooting distance if we're being honest, but still a dangerous position regardless.
Right, well, I'm going to jump off, mate.
No worries.
Right.
I'll see you on Sunday with your new boots.
Yes, with my new boots and probably sick all over my mouth. But
all right, take care.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Right then, just me and thee. My predictions for NUFC next season. That's a great question. Great question. And I'd love to hear everyone else's prediction in the comments down below, and I'll tell you if you're chatting rubbish. I've got a couple of predictions. So I've got me realistic prediction and me optimistic prediction. Optimistic, I think we'll finish kind of 8th, maybe just lower side of the Europa or the European League football standards. I think that's, if we have a really good season, I think that's genuinely where we can finish. That's with the squad we've got currently. Obviously, if we bring in a striker like Haaland or someone like that that's going to score you 30 goals, and that changes. But with the squad we've got currently, I genuinely think we're capable of getting that lower high table, like 8th, 7th, that kind of position. But that'll be a very good season for us. Realistically, we're probably going to be in and around like the 10th margin again. That's absolutely fine. You know, I'll be happy with that. I'll be satisfied if we finish 10th or above next year, because, you know, it's the Premier League and these things take time and we can't be getting overexcited. Obviously, it would be fantastic to get Champions League football this year or Europa League football this year. We've missed it for so long on Tyneside, but I don't know, it's just one of those things where it could all happen too quickly and I can't expect it. Obviously, everyone's got these hopes and expectations so far with the new owners, the new managers, the new investment, the new signings, and we've brought in some quality players like Bruno and Botman, fantastic little signings, but we're going to need a few more of those if we're really a challenge. We need depth more than anything. You need to be able to rely on a lot more players than just your starting 11, as we've seen with Man City. They've pretty much got 2 11s and they just boss everything, don't they? So yeah, I think realistically probably 10th and above, optimistically 8th and above. But you know, first proper test is today against Mainz, who are probably like the equivalent, no disrespect to Mainz, but probably the equivalent of your Leeds Uniteds or your Southamptons in the Premier League at the moment, those lower table sides. And it looks like Matt Ritchie's going to be coming on a 30-minute mark for Paul Dummett here. Can't imagine that's a tactical decision. It's probably just a little knock for Dummett, not risking him there. So Matt Ritchie on, we were just chatting about him saying his Matt Ritchie, seeing where he's being linked with Bournemouth. We're expecting that he'll be a squad player for us this season, but we'll see where he is come the end of the transfer window. If you're looking for the actual game, by the way, it's on NUFC TV on Newcastle's website. We can't show it. We don't have the rights to show it here. So it was me and Liam, but it's just me for now. And maybe we'll get Beth or someone else on a little bit later on to take you through it and talk about it. But let us know in the comments what you've made of the game so far. It's been a bit boring, I won't lie to you, hence why we've not really been talking about it that much. But we'll see if the substitutes in the second half can liven things up a little bit. Lock, yes, saying Chris Wood is no 10 to 15 goal striker. Just showed it again with a strike to the heavens. Yeah, Almiron pulling a ball back to the edge of the box to Chris Wood, who went for goal and yeah, just leaning back, completely miscued it over the bar. Poor strike from him. Oh, it's really bad clearance there from, I think that was Botman, just tried to clear it, but it bobbled up over his foot and Mainz were in for a second. Really misread that bounce there. Took a really horrible deflection off the ground. Mainz could have been in there, but well reacted to by the defence. Yeah, Chris Wood, we know he's not going to be number 1 this year. Callum Wilson will be number 1 unless we sign someone better or more prominent than Callum Wilson. Chris Wood is going to be a rotation striker that comes in when Wilson needs resting or is injured, or we need a physical presence in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. You know, he brings something that we don't have to this team, you know, in a physical and aerial threat. And he did, as much as people might not like to admit, he did influence our season towards the end of last year. You know, he didn't get as many goals as we'd like him to get, but he did influence our season in a positive manner. And also that he took it away from Burnley as well. So I'm expecting, you know, 5-6 goals for him this season and a few more assists if he can get players around and involved. But he's a big lad. He's getting on. You know, we're not expecting the world from him. And yeah, he's not a 10 to 15 goal striker. That's Callum Wilson's job to get the goals. And we know he will do that if he can stay fit. And I don't think, I take your point, but I don't think Pukki's the answer. You know, he showed time and time again that he's not a Premier League quality striker. He's just like a Dwight Gale, if we're being brutally honest. If we're still after a striker this window, it'll be, I imagine, someone to challenge Wilson for that. Not the number 9 shirt, but the number 9 position. It'll be someone like Ekitike, who we were linked with. Obviously, he's gone to PSG now, but someone that's either really promising or is already established themselves as a striker. At the start of the window, I said I'd love to see us go for Gabriel Jesus, who's obviously gone to Arsenal. I think that type of quality we can attract now, and is guaranteed to get you double digits in a season. Alan saying we need a forward and a creative midfielder, still lacking in the final third. Yeah, I agree we need a forward in terms of a striker. I'd probably say we need more of a winger than a creative midfielder, because we've seen what Bruno can do towards the end of last season. He's probably going to be the most creative of our midfield. And then if we're presuming Saint-Maximin's going to start on one side, I'd expect we need one first-team quality winger on the other, just to add a bit of depth to our squad and a bit of threat, because we're a bit one-dimensional at the minute with Saint-Maximin on one side and Wilson up top. There's not really too much threat on the other side, whether it's Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, Miguel Almiron. They're all half-decent players, but they're not going to set the world alight this season. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no to a creative midfielder. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Paqueta come in. Obviously, he's got that relationship with Bruno already, and I imagine they'd get along. He'd get along fine with Joe Linton, unless he's jealous he's nicked his best friend. But you know, that promising creative player that's good with his feet, like we could do with that. You know, we were linked with Lingard in the last window. I wouldn't mind him coming in. Probably would be, like, again, a rotational player. If we're being brutally honest. Probably rotating him with Joe Willock. Obviously, very similar style of players. Excuse me. And here we come, Newcastle now. It's great play. Chris Wood's in here, and it's great recovery from the centre-back to stab it behind. Oh, well, I was going to say from a stab it behind for a corner, but it seems he's kicked it off Chris Wood and it's gone out for a goal kick. But that was really nice build-up play. And it was Trippier, weirdly, that had drifted into like a number 10 role after coming in off the right-hand side, feeds Chris Wood in, went for a toe-poked shot that's come off the defender's foot and gone out behind. The referee seems to think it's come back off Chris Wood, but I don't know why. But that should be a corner, but it's not being given. But goal kick's taken short and we regain possession after a high press. And Kieran Trippier plays it inside to Longstaff and then to Bruno. Bruno's one thing I've noticed about it wasn't Bruno, it's Almiron. That's how good the camera quality is. I was going to say one thing I've noticed about Bruno, despite all of his obvious qualities, is his ability to win set pieces. You know, he's great at wriggling out of situations, good with his feet. And to be honest, one of his better qualities that I've seen is like being able to, you know, buy a cheap foul, whether he's trying to play out from the back and we're under pressure and we need a bit of pressure release. You know, he'll just buy a cheap foul and get us out of that. Or if we're in the final third and he's got no options on, he might just stick his leg and take a tumble and win us that. And it's not honest play, but that's what winners do, unfortunately. We've got a free kick now, about 28 yards out. Trippier's going to strike it. Looked like it might have taken a deflection. Yeah, it's just hit the head of one of the players in the wall and gone out for a corner there. It was a nice strike, plenty of power behind it, and it looked like it might have dipped in. But good strike from Trippier, and it's gone out for a corner. Andy, the match is on NUFC.co.uk, NUFC TV, if you head over to the club's website. Taking the corner quickly, gone short. Longstaff blares it. I don't know what the hell he's tried to do there. He's put his laces through it, tried to cross it into the middle, and he's just kicked it out for a throw-in. Yeah, we're not allowed to show the live stream on here, so we just thought we'd do a watch-along as we do on a match day. And get a bit of company for you guys and maybe provide you with a bit of alternative commentary after last week. We won't talk about that. But yeah, the game itself is on nufc.co.uk if you want to watch it. A little break in play as the referee tells the Mainz players that are on the bench to just stop warming up so near to the pitch. Aditya, can Spurs challenge for the league this season? They look formidable. Honestly, I mean, obviously, Man City and Liverpool, you know, they're now the top two. They're the people you've got to knock off the perch. But Spurs are building something at that, and you know they've invested heavily in their squad this year. We don't see them splashing the cash very often, but they've got all the signings that they needed. They've enforced the positions early. that they needed to enforce. Conte, we know, is a serial winner. He'll take Spurs to a trophy this season, whether that's the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Premier League. We don't know. I think they can mount a genuine push for the top three. Whether or not they can beat Liverpool and Man City is going to be a big ask. But Conte clearly wants to implement the system with wing backs, so he's invested in players like Perisic that can play in that position. They needed a reliable backup striker or a forward player to play off Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, and they've got that in Richarlison. And then they've invested in their midfield as well. Basuma, they've got Longley coming in at centre back from Barcelona, which centre back is probably one of their weaker positions. Romero, I'm still not entirely clear on the situation with Romero, because everything I've read suggests that he was on loan last season at Spurs and there was no obligation to buy, but he's still training with them, so he must be a Spurs player. Oh, and that's a great save from Martin Dubravka. Mainz had a free kick on a dangerous position on the left-hand side and the right-hand side for us, about 25 yards away, and the number 6 has just struck a beautiful strike from a direct free kick, and Dubravka's come flying across and tipped it round the post. So first shot on goal for Mainz, first proper strike anyway that I can remember, and the corner will come in, but it's defended, but Mainz still have the ball, and it's gone out for another corner. But yeah, I think Spurs can mount a genuine push for the top end of the table. Whether or not they can win the title might be a bit of a stretch, but yeah. Oh, Josh, stop it, mate. It's coming from you. Can't wait to see you on Sunday. Sunday, if you weren't here earlier when we were talking about it, Sunday we're going to have a match against the Magpie Channel. Get yourselves down to the Newcastle Foundation building near St. James's Park if you want to watch. Myself, I'm going to be there. Josh is going to be there. Lee, Carl, Adam, Liam, Beth. I probably missed someone in there. We're all going to be down there playing in a charity football match. You can watch me go red in the face as I run around the pitch looking like Miguel Almiron. And I'll probably snap something or have a heart attack. But we're also raising money for the foundation as well as a Just Giving link on our social page. If you go to Johnny Greenwood's Twitter or even Newcastle Fans TV or Josh's Twitter, you'll find a Just Giving page for the foundation where we're raising money and awareness for mental health next Sunday. And obviously we'll have loads of videos coming for you on Sunday and afterwards as well. So we'll have that. About 5 minutes left of the first half then. Best chance of the game so far coming a couple of minutes ago from Mainz from a direct free kick. We're not creating as much. We've looked defensively sound. The back two, or the centre-back pairing of Botman and Schär, has looked fairly confident. They're both very comfortable on the ball as Schär comes away with it now and carries it over the halfway line. But Paul Dummett has had to go off injured. Well, we're presuming it's an injury because he came off in the 30th minute. Matt Ritchie's replaced him. So that's the only change we made so far. I imagine we'll make almost an entirely new 11 for the second half. So we'll see. So yeah, we were talking about players coming in and what we need and attacking midfield. They don't rate Paqueta that much. Maddison, Milinkovic-Savic are proper ballers. Yeah, it's difficult. It's because, whether you rate a player or not, it's what's feasibly attainable for us. And that was almost a beautiful bit of play from Bruno. Spins his man 10 yards in the opposition half outside the centre circle and looked for a direct pass in behind. I think it was Fraser that had made a run, but it was just cut out by the defender. So, really positive play from Bruno there with about 4 minutes left. Yeah, some people rate Paqueta and Maddison Milinkovic-Savic differently. We know Steve is a big fan of Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. Watches a lot of him as he kind of supports Lazio as well. But Paqueta is very clearly a very good player. With the Brazil side, with that Lyon side, he's highly rated. He's wanted by multiple Premier League clubs. Maddison, on the other hand, is already an established Premier League player. It would be the safe option of those three, but would probably not leave Leicester at the moment because he is kind of their main man, especially when Jamie Vardy either retires or moves on, because he's getting on a bit. And I really rate Jamie Vardy. I think he's class, and I hope he can keep doing what Ibrahimovic is doing and scoring goals well into his 30s and even his 40s. But Maddison, you're looking upwards of kind of 60 mil probably for him, unless he's running down his contract, which I'm not entirely sure what his contract situation is. So you're probably going to pay the same for Paqueta and Maddison. It's just a case of what Eddie Howe would prefer, who fits the system better. So that's up to the scouts to decide. It might even be someone completely different. I'll be honest. Milinkovic-Savic, I'm not entirely certain on. I've not watched a lot of him. Steve will be able to tell you a lot more about him than I do. But everyone's entitled to their different opinions, who they'd like to see come in. So personally, I'd love for Quetta. Obviously, you clearly rate Madison, Milinkovic-Savic better, and we'll see if we get any of them in towards the end of the transfer window, because we may not bring in another midfielder. It might be a winger and a striker. It might be more defenders, stuff like that. So we never know. Yeah, I'm just going to take a drink of water because talking a lot is making my throat hurt on this hot summer's day. I hope you're all staying well hydrated at home in this heat. It's reaching about 35 where I am in Leeds. So, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to have a couple of beers in the sunshine later on. Going back to Spurs then, a couple more comments coming in. Well, before we move on to Spurs, yeah, we're just chatting about Madison there. It would take a ridiculous fee to get Madison, yeah. Leicester they're a selling club, but they will not be taken for granted. Obviously, Harry Maguire for 80 mil, Mahrez, Kante, they weren't cheap players. And that was just after they won the league title. So, Leicester doing well in Europe last year, to be fair to them. They don't have that this season. But they will not sell for cheap. So, yeah, you're asking for a hefty fee for Spurs. But for Madison. But yeah, going back to Spurs, Jay saying, would love to see Spurs throw a spanner in Liverpool and City dominance, but just don't see it they will be in the fight for the remaining Champions League spaces. Yeah, they'll definitely be up there. I think top 4 for them is almost a certainty. Having said that, though, I think Arsenal look very impressive, and I think Arteta has been given time and funds, and the investments that he's made this window are actually being very smart. They've strengthened the areas they needed to strengthen. And Arsenal will be up there as well. And then obviously you've got the likes of Man United entering a kind of new era under this manager. They've signed a couple of players already. They've signed a new left back, a new centre back, and their defence is absolutely where they needed to strengthen. Whether they keep a hold of Ronaldo as well, they could well be up there again. And then you've got your Leicesters and us and people who are going to be floating around those bottom European places. Anything can happen. It's football. It's not just football. It's the Premier League. It's the most unpredictable league in the world. So, you never know what could happen. I agree with you, Jay. I would love to see Spurs throw a spanner in the works. I'm not a massive Spurs fan, to be honest, but, Liverpool and City, it's like Barca and Real in Spain or Bayern and Dortmund in Germany. The competition of the Premier League is what makes it exciting. So I would love to see Spurs do that. And Alan agreeing with you, Jay saying Spurs have done great business in this window alongside Chelsea, but don't think they've done enough just yet. I think, yeah, like I say, they'll be up there, but they need at least time to gel and bond as a team. Richarlison's their big money signing, but he's probably not even going to be a starter for them. And if he is, I don't see where he fits in that forward line ahead of Kane and Son or someone else, what formation they're going to line with. Obviously, it'll be a back 5 or a back 3 with wing backs. But then apart from that, in front of them, who knows what they're going to do. But coming back to Newcastle, we're in added time, 30 seconds left now. Game's opened up. Obviously, this comment's a little bit dated now. Might be a goal before half-time. Yeah, we had a good chance there. One of the centre-backs, Leitch, going in the book. I think he joined from Bochum, if I'm being right. Steve, if you're watching, correct me on that. Leitch joining Mainz this year, centre-back. He was booked for a very clear pullback on Miguel Almiron's shirt after he did him with a bit of pace on that right-hand side. But yeah, the referees are just blowing his whistle now, I think. So half-time then, 0-0, as it was against 1860 Munich before we made a lot of changes at half-time and changed the game. And we had finished that game 3-0. Obviously, goals from Willock, Longstaff and Bruno in the second half. We obviously, a lot of this starting 11 today was featured in that second half and changed the game for us. So maybe with some fresh legs, the team that started the first half for us in the last game can come on and inject a bit of pace and emphasis in this game. It'll be interesting to see what Matt Ritchie does or what Eddie Howe does with Matt Ritchie in the second half, whether he leaves him on for the full, until the final whistle, because he came on in the 30th minute and obviously don't want to be running him into the ground. Matt Targett is on the bench, so maybe we'll see Targett a little bit later on. But yeah, bench looking like this: Pope, Lascelles, Shelvey, Wilson, Saint-Maximin, Targett, Kraft, Murphy, Matty Longstaff, Willock, Anderson, Byrne and Turner, Cook. So I imagine we'll see 9, if not 10 of those, maybe even 11 to come on. We'll see then. So shots on target then. Mainz having 2 to our 1. They're creating a lot not a lot more, a little bit more than us. Obviously, the best chance of the game, I'd say, would be that Mainz free kick. So we'll see how the second half shapes up then. Yeah, the two Mainz chances coming from their number 6, both from outside the box and both comfortable saves for Dubravka in the end. And probably our best chance was when Chris Wood was fed through by Kieran Trippier, but the defender got across really well, to be fair to him, get a foot in and block it. But yeah, half time then. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on the first half, and we'll get through a few of them. We're talking about the transfer window as well, who we're expected to see come in before the end of before the end of the transfer window. That's what it's called. And let us know who you'd want to see and who realistically you're expecting to see as well. Yusuf saying here, I think if we would get the Diaby deal done by the end of the window, the only issue is going to take time for any late signings to bed in. Get a good start to the season is vital. I absolutely agree. I could not agree more. I think we've done well to get a lot of our business done early because we knew this was going to be a difficult window. People were going to take us for granted because of all this new money coming in. They're going to say, right, well, we want 100 mil for this player with 3 appearances, like Ekitike, for example, you know. Ridiculous demands from the player and the club for a player that's just made his senior debut this season. Obviously, he's gone to PSG, and I think he's being loaned out somewhere straight away. And, you know, he could well be he could be the next Mbappe, the next Thierry Henry, whatever. But the demands that they were making was ridiculous for being realistic. A player that's made his debut this year and has only scored less. I think he scored less than 10 goals in the league. So people are going to take us to the shops and going to say demand ridiculous amounts of fee, and we're doing well, I think, to get business done early at a reasonable price. Botman for 35 mil, Target, Pope for less than 25 mil combined. Obviously, we've got business from January that was really well done, and we've now got a CEO in place. We've got Dan Ashworth in place. The investment is going to come this window and beyond, but it's whether we get it done early enough for those players to gel. Like Yusuf's making the point here, we need to get it done early so these players can bond, and that's what these pre-season games are all about. Few of them still left to come. We've got Benfica away, and obviously those couple of games at St. James's Park. Let us know if you're going to go to those, by the way. I'm sure a lot of you already have tickets. Very popular. Pre-season friendlies already sold out. Obviously, War Flags announcing they're going to do a display at both of those games, which is great to hear. And if you're just joining us at halftime to get a break from the matchday commentary on NUFC.com, then welcome along. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to drop a like on the video as well. It helps us out massively, and subscribe to the channel while you're here. It would mean a lot to me personally, but also the channel as well. It helps us out massively. We've got loads of stuff coming up to you on the channel over the coming weeks as well, so stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss it. Click the little notification bell if you want to be notified every time we upload, which is fairly regularly. And I mentioned a couple of vids earlier in today's stream. You know, if you want to go back and check out some of our videos, Beth and Lee did a really good video on our new CEO who came in from Atlanta. Obviously, Jay in Atlanta joining us today on the stream in the comments. He's let us know about the CEO as well. And, you know, if you don't know who he is and you want to know a bit more about him, head on over to that video after today's game. Gives you some evening watching in the sunshine. Excuse me. Dark by Design, welcome. I recognize you from a few streams ago when I was last on. We need an upgrade on Richie now. I think it's difficult because Richie, I really like Richie, and I don't think he's a left back is the problem. He doesn't have the legs and he doesn't have the defensive awareness, and he doesn't have the legs to be a winger either. He's more of a rotation player now. It's difficult because he's again, we talked earlier in the stream about Lascelles being a leader, and he's been made club captain this year as Lascelles again. And it's a strange decision because he's probably not going to be in the starting lineup. And it's the same with Rich. He's probably not going to be in the starting lineup a lot, but you need individuals like that in the dressing room to keep the team together. They're the glue that holds the team together. They're the leaders on and off the pitch. We've seen the passion that Richie has on the pitch. I imagine he's like that in the dressing room. And a lot of the players, you know, they appreciate him and they get on really well. So I agree we need an upgrade on Richie, but we've got Matt Target, who is probably going to be our starting left back now. Having said that, I would absolutely love to see us go all out and get Zinchenko from Man City, because Man City are going to sign Cucurella and they're looking to offload Zinchenko for around £30 million. And he can play both at left back and he plays in defensive midfield for his country, Ukraine. So he's a versatile player. He's won multiple titles with City. And if you've ever watched City play when he's playing, he gets a lot of stick because he's not a De Bruyne or a Sterling or, a Haaland. He's not an eye-catching player, but he is so absurdly consistent. I would love to see us go out and not get him, but I think that's probably a no-go. I think he's actually going to go to Arsenal, which would be a fantastic signing for them, in my opinion. But going back to Richie, Matt Targett's going to be our starting left-back for now, and then you've got Paul Dummett and Jamal Lewis as well that might have a sniff, as well as Richie. So I don't say we need an upgrade. I don't agree that we do need an upgrade, but it would be nice to see a bit of depth coming in there, but not getting rid of Richie just yet, even though he has been linked with Bournemouth. Alan said, commenting on Man United's newest signing, Alessandro Martinez, as the centre-back they've just signed from Ajax. Yeah, he's 5'9". I'm sure you've seen about it in the news this week. But yeah, a centre-back in the Premier League, 5'9". That's going to be an interesting matchup. So when we play Man United, stick Chris Wood up top. Why not? Just get him nodding balls in. Yeah, 5'9". Absurd to imagine a centre-half with those... that kind of physicality. I'm sure we'll see a lot of him this season then. Aditya asking my opinions on teams possibly getting relegated, and I'll happily give you them. But I'd also want to hear everyone else's thoughts as well, because this is a really open debate at the minute. This season is an interesting one because the three teams that have come up, they're apart from Forest, so the two Bournemouth and Fulham, that we know they're a bit yo-yo-y. They come up, they go down, they come up, they go down. But Fulham have made some good investments. They look like a good quality side. And if Mitrovic can fire this year, they can do what Ivan Toney did for Brentford and keep them up, and what Patrick Bamford did for Leeds the season before. They've got quality in there to Fulham, and they could easily stay up. Forest have invested really smartly, really wisely. I think they've had one of the best transfer windows of any team in the Premier League so far this window. So I think they've got some real quality there. Having said that, I've not watched a lot of Forest. I watched a bit of them in the Championship last year. They weren't all that impressive, and a couple of their key players that they did have weren't have either left or will obviously struggle in the Premier League. Obviously, James Garner was on loan from Man United, and he won't be coming back on a loan deal. They've signed Dean Henderson on loan. I think there's certain rules about loaning more than one player from a certain club. But they have signed a big striker up top to go alongside Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson, a very exciting striker, very good in the Championship, but it'd be interesting to see if he can handle the physicality of the Premier League. But I think Forest potentially are one of the ones that are at risk to go down. I really, really do. I'd like to see them stay up. They're a club with a lot of history. Obviously, they're back in the Premier League for the first time. I'd love them to stay up. I really would, at the expense of some other teams in the Premier League that I can't stand. I think Bournemouth will go straight back down. I really do. I don't think Bournemouth have anything about them. I think they were only good when they had Eddie Howe as a manager, and as well as Scott Parker has done to get them promoted, they looked really shaky at times in the Championship last season. They had some really tough losses, and they only kind of finished where they did because of a really strong run in towards the end of the season. So I think... excuse me. I think that they are Bournemouth are going to absolutely go down this year. I think that's the safe bet for me to go down. I think Brentford could struggle this year. I really do. They do have a lot of players in there that with undeniable quality, but obviously Christian Eriksen's gone to Man United, so they're missing that creativity there. And I think they might get figured out a way that a couple of other teams did, like Leeds United did this season. They were very lucky to stay up by the skin of their teeth with Leeds. We did them a massive favour on the last day. I think Brentford could be in real trouble. And genuinely, I'd be surprised if Southampton kept a hold of James Ward-Prowse this season. If they do lose James Ward-Prowse, I expect that Southampton may be in the running alongside Everton, who've actually made a couple of good signings, to be fair to Everton. But Everton and Southampton are the other two names that I would chuck in there as maybe outside shouts. So we'll see how that plays out then. I think I'm maybe having a couple of Wi-Fi issues, but I'll go on just in case I'm not, and it's just my screen that's going weird. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the relegation side. Obviously, we hope that we're not going to be in there. We're not going to be in at the end of the season. We're not going to be in any sort of relegation scrap. We want to be out of there absolutely as early as possible. We want to start strong. We want to stay strong. But we'll see how it goes. Obviously, this pre-season's gone well so far. 2 games, 2 wins. Currently drawing to Mainz at the moment, who have been the biggest test so far in terms of quality of opposition. And then, obviously, it's a very tight game at the moment. Could end 1-0 or even 0-0. Yeah, it's a very tight game at the moment. We'll see what changes are made at halftime and how they influence the game But yeah, let us know what you made of the first half, because obviously it's 0-0, but there were some good moments for us. We played the ball around quite nicely. Matt pointing out Dummett looked slow the whole half. Yeah, went off at 30 minutes. I don't know whether he was carrying injury for the full game or what the heck was happening there, but he's gone off now. And Andy pointing out that Botman was switching the ball really fast. Yeah, really good distribution from Botman. I was very impressed with him in this first half. He had one shaky moment where he just slipped on a bit of a clearance and the ball trundled through. But yeah, apart from that, he's playing really well. I've been impressed with it. Obviously, probably won't start the second half if we do make a lot of changes. Maybe we'll start the first 5-10 minutes and then we'll make changes. We'll see how that goes. Alex asking, who's going to win the game? Who's playing better? I mean, being brutally honest, Mainz are probably playing better in terms of the chances that they've had, but neither team have played particularly well. We've tried to work it into the front three, and it's not really working with Almiron on that right side. Players are coming back out now, and to be honest, I don't think there's been any changes at halftime. I think we're going to do what we did in the last game, where we give them 5-10 minutes before making changes and getting the rest of the players on. Who's going to win? Oh, don't have a mystic ball, unfortunately, for you. But one thing is for certain, we are about to get underway in about 2-3 minutes' time, and hopefully we'll be on the receiving end of a positive result. So, Blind Life, if you're just joining us here, great, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. The match stream, if you're looking for that, is on Newcastle's website. So if you go to NUFC.co.uk or you go on their Twitter and follow the link they tweeted out at the start of the game, that's where the game is being showed live. But stick with us here as well, because I'm providing you a bit of alternative commentary to what's going on NUFC's website. And also having a bit of a chat about the season in general as well, getting your thoughts on preseason so far, transfers coming in and out, and anything that will happen this season, predictions wise. So 0-0 so far. Liam at the start of the stream said he was going to be a 2-0 or a 2-1 job. We'll see how that plays out. Let us know in the comments what your predictions are for the second half. Then we expect there'll be changes made by Eddie Howe. So there's a very pessimistic take here. If we don't get Paqueta, Diaby, or Scamacca, we're probably going to fight for relegation again. I don't particularly agree with that, because we didn't fight for relegation last year without these signings. Like we've already improved on the squad we had last year, and we weren't scrapping for relegation towards the end of the year. And with Eddie Howe in charge for a full season rather than just half one, I think we should be well clear of that. And we don't necessarily need those three players or any other players to avoid relegation. If we want to push up the table, then absolutely I agree. Paqueta, Diaby, Scamacca, all good players that would absolutely improve our squad and probably take us up the Premier League table. And that's a really loose pass from Chris Wood. That's disappointing, because Trippier played a nice pass into Wood there and tried to feed in Almiron, but it's just overhit, and that's an easy pass to make, and Chris Wood just messing it up a little bit there. Very disappointing. Simon saying neither Richie nor Dummett are good enough as a left back, too slow and can't pass going forward. I agree. I do agree. Premier League quality, they're good as rotation players for the last 30 minutes of a game. They're not good enough to start in the Premier League. I do agree. But, we've got other players. Matt Targett's going to be our starting left back. Dummett has been used in pre-season. He's clearly part of Eddie Howe's plans. He's got a new contract extension last year. Whether he's played at centre-back or left-back, he will probably be involved in the squad, whether that's on the bench or whatever. So he will be involved whether we like it or not, as probably will Matt Ritchie be. Crichton, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. What's the score? 0-0. It's in the ticker along at the bottom. It should be anyway. It's 0-0. We've just kicked off the second half. Hopefully we can do what we did against 1860 Munich and get a few goals in the second half. Obviously, that game finishing 3-0. If you're looking for the live stream, it's on nufc.co.uk. So 0-0 at half time. Simon pointing out, yes, Forest has spent nearly 80 mil. If they don't stay up, it could be huge financial trouble spending all that money in one season. Yeah, we've seen teams do that in the past. Norwich spent big last year, went straight back down. Fulham have done it, as Liam said, in the past. Newcastle coming on the break now, though. Fraser finds Joe Linton on the left wing. He's just overhit the pass. And Joe Linton will keep possession, but it's just taking all the sting out of the attack. But he'll bring it back to Fraser now. Looks to whip a ball into the box. It's high into the back post. Just too high for Chris Wood, and the keeper claims it. Claims it nicely. Excuse me. Aditya pointing out that Maldini Cannavaro are quite short, around 5'8", and Puyol 5'11". Martinez in general overrated. Well, I'll be honest, I've not seen much of Martinez, but obviously those names, he's in quite good company for short centre backs, isn't he? So, Bradford fan, how many will you put past the Mackhams tomorrow? A bloody hatful, hopefully. He had a great game against York the other day. I was there. I was working that game. He played really well against Yorks, and obviously Sunderland losing to Hebburn the other week. So realistically, why not? Obviously, same league as Derby, which he didn't do as well against, but you got some good players there at Bradford this season under Mark Hughes. So hopefully you can smack the Mackhams tomorrow and then do well in League Two this season. All the best. All right, I'm trying to run through these comments. I know I've got a bit of a backlog of comments going at the moment. Ilkovo pointing out Bruno, Joe, and Trippier really showing up their teammates and attack that half. Yeah, those three really the attacking impetus for us so far. The rest of the midfield and attackers not really getting involved. I'll chuck Almiron in that mix as well because he's made some good runs. He's not really been picked out by his teammates. But yeah, Trippier especially for me, and Bruno driving us forwards from the back, and Joe making some really positive runs forward. Botman there just really out-strengthening his man. Impressive play from the centre-back there as the ball went long from the Mainz keeper. Bruno did go down a couple of minutes ago, as someone pointed out in the comments, but he's fine. Jamie, thanks for joining us, but no, this isn't the actual match on here. The actual match is on nufc.co.uk. Or if you go to the Twitter feed on NUFC's Twitter feed, you'll find the link for it there. I think it was Hebburn. And Alan, I'll tell you what, I think it was Hebburn. I'll find Sunderland's results for you. Was it Hebburn? I feel like it was Hebburn. I don't know who they lost to. I swear I saw it the other day where they lost to. I'm not dreaming. Yeah. Oh, it was the under-23s. That's why. That's why. It's Hebburn beat Sunderland's under-23s 2-0. I thought it was the actual Sunderland team, but never mind. A win's a win. Well done, Hebburn. So, yeah, the Sunderland lost that game. They got beat by Roma as well. Oh, Mainz are in here. It's a lovely ball across the box, and the strike blocked by Botman, and then the ball rebounded back, and it was another block by a black and white shirt there. Some good defending on the line, because that was a dangerous ball in from the right-hand side. Ball being cut back there, and it was, I think, yeah, it was Botman that blocked the first one, and the Shaw that blocked the second one. But it comes in from the Mainz's right-hand side, our left-hand side. Matt Ritchie not blocking the cross, and then, yeah, ball pulled back to the penalty spot where Mainz took two shots on. The first one blocked by Botman, the second blocked by Scher, and then the third one well over the bar. So that's a dangerous attack for Mainz. Two shots that will probably go down as being on target, despite them both being blocked. Dangerous there, coming down the left-hand side of Newcastle. But yeah, if you're joining us for the match, we're not live streaming it because we don't have the rights. We're just providing you with a bit of company, bit of commentary, and some good times all around as Newcastle win a corner on the 50th minute. The defender trying and nod it back to his goalkeeper there, but just overdoing it. Taking the corner quickly there. Hello, I'm back. Sorry, lads. My Wi-Fi. I've just moved into a new flat, and my Wi-Fi is not the best. So if there was someone else here to carry the show when I'm gone, you wouldn't just get a black screen. But I'm here. I'm back. Hopefully, anyway. I think I'm back. Comment down below if you can see me. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll get the game back up as well because that's packed in as well. So maybe we'll. Hopefully, my Wi-Fi can sort itself out. I don't know what's wrong there. Let me know down below in the comments if you can see me. But yeah, currently the match is gone, so we might have to call this prematurely here. I'm back. Thank you very much for letting us know. But yes, we'll just have a bit of a discussion while I try and get the game back up because I've lost my stream. It's all gone horribly wrong here. Bloody Wi-Fi, man, honestly. But yeah, let us know down below then a couple of your season predictions then. Who's going to be the main scorer for us this season? Is saint-maximin going to step up for us once again? Is Callum Wilson going to stay fit enough to be our top scorer? Hopefully he can be. For now, I think yeah, lovely stuff. To be fair, these championship teams can't survive from the championship teams. They need to turn the win because otherwise. Right, I'm back. Sorry, lads. Bloody hell. I think I've sorted it out. God, honestly. Right, you're all still here. Thank God for that. Right, I'm back. I've had to reset the Wi-Fi, so we should be good now. God, honestly, right. Anyway, in the meantime, Daryl, welcome to the gang. It's a madhouse in here, as you can probably tell. Thank you for becoming a member. And if you want to become a member as well at home, the link's in the description to join. It's dead cheap to join it at the basic tier, and the more you pay, the more you get. So we bring you exclusive content on Newcastle Fans TV, early access to videos, etc. And you'll get all that, Daryl. So welcome to the club. Sorry about that, lads. It's been all fun and games here. Wi-Fi as bad as Sunderland. Probably cost about as much as their club to set it up as well. So 20p if you're wondering. No, right. Back to the game then. I've got my stream working as well, so I can bring you updates of that. 55 minutes gone. We've not missed any goals. I don't think I've missed any changes as well, but I'll just double check Twitter for that. But we'll come on the attack now. Looks like it was Bruno carrying that, or Almiron carrying that forwards. Right. God, any changes? Don't think so. Cool. Right. God, I've just had to run the full length of my house to go and reset that thing. Where are we going? We were talking about championship teams spending money. Everyone's got to spend money nowadays to stay in the league. That's just how it is. It's unfortunate, but you can't build anything without a bit of money anymore, unfortunately. But the teams that have come up have done that. We've done that, and hopefully it'll keep us well out of the relegation fight. In the meantime, Fabian Schär's down injured. The physio's on, stretching his leg. It might be a muscular injury there, hence the stretching. But saint-maximin is also stripped and ready to come on. He's wearing a bib at the moment. It looks like there'll be a lot of changes, actually. I can see 3, 6, 8. Yeah, 8+ players coming on here, or at least warming up. Dan Burns stripped and ready to come on now for Fabian Schär. So Dan Burns on for Schär. And then there's a lot of other players as well. Longstaff's on the pitch. Still, I think it's just Dan Burn that's coming on. That's a good one. I'll steal that one next time. Who's my number one signing we should make? Well, That's a very good question, because I don't really know, to be honest. It has to be a striker for me. I think Wilson is good, but he's so injury prone. We cannot be relying on him and Wood as a backup all season. It's really difficult to know who's available and for what price and what would be a good signing. I'm going to get laughed at here. Oh, bloody hell. Mainz are in here on the left-hand side. Number 37. He's one-on-one with the keeper, and it's 1-0 to Mainz. I don't know how that's happened because we tried to take a free kick quickly. It was blocked by a Mainz player that wasn't 10 yards away. The referee didn't blow for a foul. The Newcastle player stopped expecting the ref to blow his whistle, but he didn't. And despite the player being in the wrong position, and then Mainz just broke away. We weren't ready for it. There was a long ball over the top to the number 37. I still don't know who it is. I don't know Mainz's players. It's Delano Bergzorg. All the way down the left-hand side, one-on-one with Dubravka, just lifts it over the goalkeeper, who'd come out a little bit far. To be fair, keeper should really be doing better for me. He's closed down the angle really well, does Dubravka, and then he just kind of flinches out the way. Not great defending, to be honest, but keeper doesn't make himself as good as he could have been. So it's 1-0 Mainz. Not sure what the ref was doing there. Bloody hell. Well, just in time for all the other subs to come on shortly. Christ. Right then. Number one signing we should make. I'm going to get laughed at because it's not the number one signing. Absolutely not. But we could be looking at someone like Olivier Giroud, who had a good season for AC Milan. He's got Premier League experience. He's a big target man like Wood is. And they've obviously signed Divock Origi, and they've got Ibrahimovic there as well at AC Milan. However, my number one signing that I would absolutely pile money into, 80 plus mil, would be Victor Osimhen from Napoli. I think he's exactly the kind of player we need. And I personally am a big fan of his, so I would absolutely love for him to come into this side. It'll be a striker would be my number one priority, with a winger being my secondary priority, and I'd love to see Diaby come in from Leverkusen. But let me know in the comments down below if who you would love to see come in. Obviously, Olivier Giroud is a bit of a rogue one, but I think he'd be a bit of a cheaper option if we are struggling to bring someone in towards the end of the window. And I can see him making a Premier League return, but it's 1-0 to Mainz in the preseason friendly coming back here. I need to update the banner down below. And starting 11. So who have we got on the pitch now? Trippier still on. Cher's gone off for Byrne, Botman, and Ritchie. Yeah, still yet to make any more substitutes. Byrne coming on for Cher. Oh, as I say that, all the substitutes are coming on now. So I can see Jamal Lascelles, Jacob Murphy, Alan Saint-Maximin, Emil Kraft, John Joe Shelby, Joe Willock, and Matt Targett. So no Nick Pope. Oh, no, Nick Pope is coming on as well. He just looked like the fourth official there. So Pope, Kraft, Botman, I think, has come off as well. That'll be for Lascelles. ASM. Murphy. Willock's come on. I'll bring you a full proper update of that, because I can't actually tell who's gone off. I imagine it's the entire 11. But once I get you full proper official updates of that, lads, I will do. Lockyer saying, could see NUFC turn this around. Mainz have taken the best players off. Well, we've got a lot of players coming on now, a lot of quality coming on. Callum Wilson and Alan Saint-Maximin up front, and then obviously Jacob Murphy as well. John Joe Shelby and Joe Willock in the midfield. Il Corvo saying, being rubbish. If players like Murphy, Wood, Ritchie don't feature frequently next season, I can't see a top half finish. I agree to a certain extent. If they feature frequently, and we're talking starting 11 frequently, I agree. I think Murphy, as much as I like him, is a championship quality player. Wood is a lower half of the Premier League player. Ritchie is probably championship at this point, and Dummer is probably championship. So I agree. If they're featuring frequently, yeah, that top half might be a bit optimistic. But if I can see them all featuring as rotation bit part players, that's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think Elliot Anderson's come on the pitch as well. I think that's him and not Sean Longstaff that's offering for the ball now. Yeah, I think it is. I think Matt Ritchie's also departed the field of play with Target coming on. I will check so we got Pope, Kraft, Lascelles, Byrne, Target as the back four with the goalkeeper. And then the midfield three of Shelby, Willock, Anderson, and then a front three of Murphy, Saint-Maximin, Wilson. We've still got Matty Longstaff, and Turner Cook on the bench as well. So we'll update that banner for you now. Lascelles, Ritchie. Who are you looking forward to seeing in this second half then, lads? Let us know in the comments down below. You're looking forward to see Anderson getting a bit more of a run out? Are you looking forward to see Wilson and Saint-Maximin linking up? Who are you looking forward to seeing in the second half? And can we pull it back, most importantly? 1-0 down with 25 minutes to play. Mainz about to make some substitutes of their own now, including the goalkeeper. So hopefully he's a dodgy keeper and we can test him a bit more. So we've had a few score predictions at the start. Liam was one of them, saying 2-1 or 2-0. Well, 2-0's out the window. 2-1 is obviously still on. Let us know your score predictions in the comments down below as well. We'll have some more videos coming up for you this week, not least next Sunday. If you weren't here earlier on, we'll be doing a charity match against the Magpie Channel. Myself, I'll be there playing, and a few of the other lads as well. Liam, Lee, Kraft. I'm losing my mind. I've just looked at Kraft on the screen and said Kraft will be there. Kraft's categorically not going to be there. So if there's any super fans out there wanting his autograph, I doubt he's going to turn up. He might turn up. I'll text him and see if he turns up. But yeah, Kraft's not going to be there. But loads of us from the channel will be there if you want to come down to the foundation and watch us take on the Magpie Channel. It's all for a good cause, raising funds and awareness for mental health through the foundation. There's a Just Giving link on our social pages. If you go to our Twitter page or to Johnny's page, you'll find it there, and I think Josh has got it on his page as well. So any amount, no matter how big or small, is appreciated. And if you do donate, don't forget to gift aid it as well. It costs you nothing, and it gets us a bit more funds, a few more funds as well, which is lovely. And 25 minutes to go then. Saint-Maximin has it on the left wing, looking to take on his man. Goes inside and goes down. Wants a free kick. Ref says no, thank you. And Jamal Lascelles mops up as Mainz look to come forward then. Yeah, Uncle said it's reached a peak of 40 in Newcastle today. Absolutely diabolical. Had to shut down his work site. Yeah, the UK. If you're not in the UK today, you're blessed, because my God, it's ridiculous. It's. I think tomorrow's going to be even worse today. I think the lowest temperature in England we've got today is something like 32 degrees. The highest being 40. Down in London, and I think Newcastle's not far off that today. Oh, here comes Anderson now, linked up well with Saint-Maximin. He's made a brilliant run forward as Anderson switches it to Willock, feeds it over to the right hand side to Kraft, who will look to play a ball in. It's low into the box. Wilson. Oh, it's cleared off the line. I think that was Wilson. Oh, it was Murphy. Murphy flicked the ball towards goal. If it was Wilson, you've got to say that's the 6-yard box. That's his territory. That goes into the back of the net. But that was really promising build-up play. Good link-up play between Saint-Maximin and Anderson. Saint-Maximin offloading the ball to Anderson, trusting him in his instincts. Anderson making a really nice run forwards and feeding in Willock, who had the awareness to spread it out to Kraft. Low ball across the 6-yard box, just bobbles up, and Murphy's tried to side foot it in on the bounce where he should be going for power there. And Wilson just not able to get to the rebound. Murphy in a nutshell, Il Corvo, absolutely, yeah, just lacking that decisive instinct to tuck that home. That could have very easily been 1-1. Some nice play, though. The first time we've really linked up as a team well in this half. And we've kept the ball in the opposition half as well. Saint-Maximin with a throw-in, gives it to Willock on the inside, switches it to the right-hand side now. Kraft's made a run forward, look to keep this in. It's just a bit of top spin on it. It's taking it away from the young man. I'd say the young man is probably like 27 now. He's older than me. And it's out for a harmless goal kick. But it's optimistic play from us. And having a little bit more joy on that right-hand side then with Emil Kraft bombing forwards. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot. I'm not sure what number of likes we're on at the moment. We can see very shortly. I'll give you an update on that because we were aiming to hit 150 likes on the video. If you haven't already, help us get there. We've hit 161, so we're now looking for 200. So that would be fantastic if you could help us get to 200 likes. We'd very much appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and put the little notification bell on. That's a really dodgy kick from Mainz's goalkeeper. And Callum Wilson intercepts, gives it to Anderson, who's found Saint-Maximin on the edge box, cuts in, shoots, and it's blocked there. But a really good chance for Newcastle. Saint-Maximin, hands on head there. He knew that was a chance. But Mainz will come away on the counter-attack now. Dan Burn steps up to try and intercept. It gets played around him, but Jamal Lascelles is there to cut out the pass. Not for the first time either, Jamal Lascelles cutting out after his teammates' mistakes. And Mainz player now down in a heap, holding his foot. Looks to be a little bit seriously hurt. What's the score, Motorhome Happiness? Well, unfortunately, we're on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline. Mainz taking the lead about 8 minutes ago. Through some sloppy defending, some sloppy refereeing, if I'm being honest as well. But it came from our set piece, our free kick in the opposition half. They just countered. And in my opinion, Dubravka could be doing better to stop that. But, you know, preseason isn't always about the results. Obviously, the results are nice to get in, nice and positive when you get wins. But it's more about the performance, finding out who gels well with who. Alan Saint-Maximin sporting bloody wrist braces today. He's got strapping all the way up his forearms, all to his elbows, on both hands. Not sure why. But regardless, he's getting a run out in the second half. Yeah, an entire different 11 in the second half now. Matt Ritchie being subbed off with everyone else as well, despite coming on in the first half. We've got Nick Pope in goal, if you missed it. Emil Kraft, Lascelles, Burn and Target at the back four. Midfield three of Willock, Shelby and Anderson, and a front three of Murphy, Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson. We had a good chance about 3-4 minutes ago now. Murphy from 6 yards out, firing very, very softly towards the goal. Really not testing the defence or the goalkeeper. If that was Callum Wilson there, you'd expect that to fire into the back of the net, but not to be today for the Magpies. And we'll resume play after Lokukwai. Don't know how to say his name. A Mainz player gets up after his injury. People saying in the comments that someone punched someone. I didn't see that. I don't know who punched anyone, if anyone did. There's nothing being made of it on the cameras anyway. No aftermath of that, if that did happen. So not entirely sure what the deal was with that. Saint-Maximin on the ball now. Goes backwards after some nice feet. Forced backwards, I should say, to Jamal Lascelles. Welcome, Jack. The score, we're losing 1-0. Unfortunately, we can't live stream it here on Newcastle Fans TV. Head on over to nufc.co.uk or the club's website. They tweeted a link at the start of the first half. If you're struggling to find a link, you can watch the game on their website. But keep watching with us. We're bringing you some commentary and some company here on Newcastle Fans TV, because we'll not talk about the commentary from the 1860 Munich game. If you watch that game with the commentary on their website, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Motorhome Happiness saying, I think we need 3 more signings. Well, I'll stop you there, Motorhome Happiness, because here come Mainz on the counter-attack again. Newcastle back in numbers, stopping the quick break, but Mainz still on the ball in a dangerous position. It's blocked, it bounces over the... Oh, ref! That's bounced over the head of the defender. I can't tell who that was. It might have been... Yeah, it was Kraft. Headed the ball away bravely and gets a knock in his back there as another player came to challenge him. A bit of whiplash for Kraft and wins a free kick. I think we need 3 more signings, says Motorhome Happiness. A left winger, right winger, and centre forward, and it'll be a great transfer window. I agree. We do need a winger and a forward. 2 wingers I wouldn't be opposed to, but then you've got to consider Alan Saint-Maximin. Does he start for you if you're signing 2 wingers? If you do sign a winger, if you do sign 2 wingers, rather, do you start him over Saint-Maximin, or you start signing him to replace Fraser and Murphy and that on the bench? Let us know who you want in those positions. Obviously, it'd be great to bring in some star players, but are you wanting first-team players? And if so, who? And how much do you think they'll be available for? Joe Mundy, thank you for joining us on Twitch. We don't get many viewers on Twitch these days, but if you are on Twitch, you can watch the game at NUFC's website, nufc.co.uk. We're not allowed to stream it just due to copyright reasons. But you can watch it on the club's website. But keep us on Twitch. We'll keep you company until the full-time whistle, and then we'll have to end the stream there. My Wi-Fi seems to be holding up a bit more now that it's reset that. And I say that just as me stream buffers. So if I drop off suddenly, I've just jinxed it. But yeah, 1-0 to Mainz currently. You can watch the full game on NUFC's website, but keep us on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching us. Keep us here with you. Drop a like on the video already if you haven't. We've got the ball with Anderson in towards the corner flag. Saint-Maximin provides support, who finds Shelvey in return, who whips a ball into the box. That's a great ball. Oh, it was one of those balls that could just drop into the far post. It was crossed in from our left wing by John Joe Shelvey, an in-swinger on his right foot, looking for the head of Callum Wilson. Wilson, it was just over the top of his head. He still did try and get a little flick on the ball, but it just was too high for him. Great ball in from Shelvey, but the ball almost found its way into the bottom corner on its own. The cross itself nearly good enough as a shot. Just lacking quality with that final ball. Yeah, I mean, it was a good ball in from Shelvey, but lacking, or perhaps had a bit too much power. Perhaps the wind took it a little bit further than it was. Sorry, Joe. If you can't watch it, stay with us. We'll try and bring you match updates here on Newcastle Fans TV. Or if you've got a VPN, you can put it on and watch it on the club's website there. I don't know why they're not making it available worldwide. Maybe it's something to do with broadcasting rights. Home Happiness saying, creative midfielder as well. I presume that's creative. Oh, that's a harsh challenge. You dirty so-and-so. That's a booking. Bloody hell. I'm not sure what the Mainz player is doing there, but Elliot Anderson's, it's Papella for Mainz. Elliot Anderson's received the ball in the midfield. Turned out really well. He received the ball from Joe Willock, and then the Mainz players come steaming in and taking him out there. That's a really reckless challenge for a pre-season friendly. A deserved booking there. Dirty, dirty play from the Mainz player. Anyway, back to the signing. Sorry. Creative midfielder as well. Love that player who's Bruno's best friend who plays for Brazil. Yeah, Paqueta, we've talked about him a little bit already on the stream. Be a fantastic signing. Wouldn't be cheap, but seemingly worth it as well. Joe Willock throwing his hands up in exasperation. Link-up play with Jacob Murphy not coming off there. Murphy making a run. And the pass of Willock just behind him. So unfortunate there as we look to get on the break. Jack pointing out thinks Anthony Gordon be a complete waste of money, and I completely agree. Been linked with him, and I can't see Everton letting him go for anything less than like 30 mil, which would be, I agree, a complete waste of money. I don't like him. I think he's a decent lower half Premier League player at the moment. It could get better under the right management. I don't know, but I think he's a cheat. I think he's a dishonest player. I really don't like the way he played against us. I really don't like him as an individual, and I would not like to see him in a black and white shirt. I agree, it would be a complete waste of money. Probably wouldn't even start over Ryan Fraser if I'm being brutally honest. That's my opinion, but you let us know in the comments down below if you disagree. There's about 15 minutes left in the game. Elliot Anderson's just had a strike from 25, 30 yards. It was a decent sighter, but not really a lot of venom behind the shot. And the keeper collects nice and easily. Meanwhile, Dan Burn heads clear from a goal kick. 15 minutes left, 1-0 to Mainz. Ooh, and Callum Wilson takes a bit of a tumble. Slipped. Don't sit on the fence. Yeah. He's one of the only players that I categorically would hate to see in the Newcastle shirt. A lot of players, whether, Richarlison, for an example, not everyone rates him, but, I wouldn't have minded him at Newcastle. Not that bothered that he's gone to Spurs. But how is that not a free kick? We've broken away on the right hand side there, and Elliot Anderson, I have to say, has really impressed me when he's come off the bench here. And he's distributing plays, getting on the ball a lot, and the senior players around him seem to trust him by giving him the ball and letting him do his thing. He's made some really nice runs forward, and he's not afraid to distribute the ball to his teammates as well. Really good show from him so far today, and he's just tried to find Kraft, and the Mainz defenders slid in and won the ball out for a throw-in, but the linesman seemed to give it in Mainz's favour there. So, yeah, I agree. Alan Anderson has looked lively today, and he was a bit disappointing in the Munich game. Obviously, he had a fantastic half season on loan with Bristol Rovers, getting promotion with them in that dramatic final day. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. What was it, 7-0? They needed to win by 7 goals on the last day of the season or something, and they did. Elliot Anderson contributing to that as well. And maybe we'll see him in a first-team Newcastle United shirt this season. Clearly showed he can do it at the lower level. And there's a lot of excitement and buzz about him at the club. Lee will tell you a bit more about him because he's watched him for years with the under-23s and stuff. So, Will we see him as part of the first team rotation this year, or is he just getting some minutes in pre-season before another loan out? It wouldn't surprise me to see him go on loan to a championship club this time, or maybe even a lower Premier League club, maybe one of the newly promoted sides like Forest or Bournemouth. I think, we could see him in the first team squad. I don't think he'll start. He'll earn a place in the starting 11 just yet, but you never know. A few performances akin to the likes of Joe Willock did when he was on loan with us. You never know, he might force his name on the team sheet. That's if we don't sign any more midfielders, of course. We've got a lot of depth in midfield as it is. As we spread the ball out to the right-hand side now with Murphy, just outside the box. Beats one man, but then runs into another, loses the ball, and might have the ball in their left-back position. Murphy's putting a lot of pressure on, and he forces the sliced clearance only as far as Elliot Anderson, who's fed in. Only as far as target, who's Valen Anderson, who's now giving it to Maxi. On the left-hand side, he's cut in, he's beat two men here, pulls it back to Jonjo, and he sliced it over the bar. That was really nice feet from Saint-Maximin there, and really unselfish play from him. There's times where we've seen him do that. He cuts in, beats one man, beats two man, and he's only got eyes for goal. But he pulled a really nice ball back to the edge of the box there where Jonjo Shelvey was lurking, and Jonjo's tried to go for all-out power, and he's just sliced it with his laces over the bar. Oh, the ball's taken a bobble off the turf. I've just seen a replay. It's bobbled just before it gets to Jonjo. That's unlucky because that was really nice play. Good link-up play between Target, Anderson, and Saint-Maximin there, and very unselfish play from Maxi. One of my biggest criticisms of Saint-Maximin last season, if you watch me on a watch-along before, is he's too selfish, and I really do believe that. And, he's a very, very talented player, clearly, and he's a good player. And he, the things he said about needing quality in front of him to show what he's truly capable of, I do agree with that to a certain extent, but he needs to trust his teammates more. And I think that he showed that today. He's trusting Anderson, he's trusting Shelvey there, and he's offloading the ball when perhaps he would have taken on an extra dribble when he didn't need to in previous seasons. Meanwhile, Jacob Murphy loses the ball again in a dangerous position. But Newcastle win it back. Matt Target this time intercepting a pass and feeds Saint-Maximin, who's away here. He's got three men on him, but he's got the pace to get around them. He's into the box now, and one of the three manages to win the ball back. But he's kept the press on as Saint-Maximin. Mainz looking to play their way out from the back rather than boot it long. And Anderson presses, intercepts, and the ball goes out for a Mainz throw-in. 10 minutes ago, Mainz 1, Newcastle 0. Big criticism of both of our wide players if they don't get their heads up and look what's around them. I completely agree. I think Murphy, Miggy, Fraser to a certain extent. I think Fraser's probably the best at it. But Maxi especially, not trusting their teammates around them, getting their heads down and getting too fixated on themselves. Miggy was a victim of that, has been a victim of himself for a couple of seasons now, because when he gets his head down, he just runs around in circles, bless him. But hopefully he can improve on that, add a few more goals and assists to his tally this season if he gets the chance to. That's a foul by Mainz, surely. We've played advantage here. Callum Wilson's in behind. He's on his own, though. Shoots. That's a good stop by the goalkeeper. That was good advantage played by the referee. Really good advantage, because there was a clear and obvious foul on Kraft there. But Murphy was alive to the situation, kept the ball alive, and fed in Wilson, who positioned himself perfectly onside. No support from him, though, because it was a quick counter. Had to go for goal himself and goes for power on that right-hand side. Catches the goalkeeper off guard, and it's straight down the keeper's throat, but nice and high. So not an easy save for the keeper to make, because there was plenty of power behind it, but I think it's just conked the keeper on the forehead as well. And Kraft has stayed down injured here, which isn't good. I'll bring you an update on him. I think he's got up now. But a really nice strike from Callum Wilson there. Really good play from him. Optimistic on the front foot. Yeah, save from the keeper, just hits his bonds. So he was down receiving a bit of treatment there. So obviously it's hot, and that'll be a bit of a sore one today. I think it's around in the 30 degrees in Austria today. You can see there's a bit of a breeze, which is probably a bit more pleasant than what we've got here in the UK. Yeah, I said it wasn't an easy save because there was plenty of power behind it. Turns out it just smacked him in the face. So you can clearly see my eyes aren't working today, but it's Target to take the corner. He's going to whip this one in with an in-swinger. It's a nice ball in. It's just flicked away from the defender because Joe Willock was lurking unmarked there in the 6-yard area. It's a nice ball in from Target into a good area. Nobody really attacking it. And Saint-Maximin will take the throw on the far side, the left for Newcastle. He's got options ahead of him, taking his time. Opts to go for Target, who will go straight back to Maxi, who whips a ball in. low, and it's well dealt with by the defence. About 8 minutes to go. Do I think we'll score? I don't know. Don't have a mystic ball, but we've absolutely cranked it up in the last couple of minutes. We've had a few chances, set pieces and shots. So I hope we'll score. Whether we win or not is another question, but I hope that we'll at least get on the score sheet. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in and contributed in the comments down below so far as well. It's really helped keep the stream alive today. It's not been the best game in terms of quality, so it's been good to chat to you all about your optimism for this season on the transfer window as well. And if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out here at Newcastle Fans TV. We've got 168 likes so far on the video. If you haven't already, drop a like on it, and we'll try and hit 175 in the next 7 minutes or so, because that'll be a nice target for us to hit as Elliot Anderson is brought down, but the referee again plays advantage, and saint-maximin's in here, but he slipped. The referee surely can't give that an advantage. How is he giving that as an advantage? He's played 5 seconds of an advantage where saint-maximin slipped, and then the opposition have come back and won the ball. There's another foul on Anderson, who is all over the Mainz team here. He's been brilliant at turning his men inside out, and Mainz are playing very, very forcefully here. Yeah, dirty players or even dive or blatantly foul and the ref ignores it. Yeah, the referee's not had the greatest game today. I agree with you there. And Mainz, for some reason, taking this preseason friendly very, very seriously. Maybe out to make a point. But like I said earlier, results aren't always what preseason is about. It's about the performance of the players, how well they've gelled, how well certain tactics work against teams, and what we will learn will benefit us going into the actual season where results do matter. Joe Willock just leaving one in on the Mainz player. Oh, a bit of afters between Joe Willock and one of the Mainz players that had fouled one of our players earlier on. So Joe Willock not taking things easily as well, which is good to see. Bit of feistiness and fight in the players. Not instigating it, but fighting back when they're challenged. 6 minutes left to play then. Still chasing a 1-goal disadvantage. Willock on the ball then finds Shelby. He's got his head up, looks for the pass into Matt Target at left back, just in the opposition half, who floats one in behind for the run of Wilson, but it's intercepted. And Mainz will play out from the back now. Oh, they've got a good run here in on the right wing. Matt Target out of position, and the right wingers tried to play a quick early ball into the striker, but Jamal Lascelles alive to it. It wasn't the best ball in the world, to be honest. But Lascelles again intercepting when it needs most. Shelby now, that's a lovely ball out. First time on the half volley to find Alan saint-maximin, who is out on that left wing. Anderson stood 10 yards for him, asks for the ball, gets it from saint-maximin, feeds it on to Willock. I like that from Anderson. Maxi wasn't really doing anything with the ball, so he took it upon himself to come and tell him to give him the ball and move the ball on, speed things up, try and open it up. Saint-maximin on the left side now, 2 men on him. He's got Target in support, but he opts to beat the men instead. He's danced past 1, 2, 3. Now uses Target, who will cross a ball into the box. It takes a deflection, and the keeper claims it. Another deflected cross there, disappointing. But Matt Target getting in an advanced position. Jay saying Anderson looking very good, in fine form today, and I have to agree. He's looked at one of our better players in this second half, and we'll hopefully see more of him in the coming friendlies against Benfica, Atalanta, and I think it's Sevilla, the third one, isn't it? So, Joe, we've talked about this a little bit earlier on. Let us know your thoughts. Joe, let us know your thoughts on Twitch, Joe. What do you think of Lascelles staying on as captain? I think it's more than just rumours now. I think it's confirmed by Eddie Howe that Lascelles will stay on as club captain. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but just in case you weren't on the stream a little bit earlier, various thoughts from a couple of people on the stream saying that he's a bit of a dead weight now. He's not up to speed. Captaincy should be going to someone like Trippier, and I can see the nuances of both sides of it. But for me, what I said a little bit earlier on was you need those leaders in the dressing room, and changing it up now could cause a little bit of a rift in the dressing room. There'll be those old heads that are friendly with Lascelles and have had him as club captain for the last couple of years. A lot of fans don't have an issue with it. I personally don't. Obviously, Lascelles isn't going to be a member of that starting 11 consistently. We know that. We know it's going to be Botman alongside one of Byrne or Scher. We know that Lascelles isn't going to be in that starting 11. However, he's still going to be in the dressing room. He's still going to be a part of that 25-man squad, and we need leaders in there if we're going to push on up the table. And, there are leaders in there, but someone like Lascelles, when we were under Ashley and we had bad management, Lascelles was one of those to speak up about the rift in the dressing room, and he is a real leader at the end of the day, both for the fans and for the club. So let us know your thoughts, everyone at home. If you're what you make of the situation with Lascelles being continuing as club captain this season. Are you happy with that? Are you dissatisfied? If you are dissatisfied, who would be your captain in exchange of Lascelles? Obviously, he's not going to be part of that starting 11, but he's still going to be part of the team. He's featuring here at the moment. He's had a good second half, I have to say. He's dealt with everything that's come his way, goal aside, but that came from a quick counter, which he couldn't really do much about. Joe saying, don't think he will fit in our first team. Think Trippier should be captain. Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree with you, Joe. Trippier should. I think a lot of people would say Trippier should be captain. Even someone like Wilson. But then how much can you marshal a team from the front? But there's a lot of leaders in that dressing room now. We've invested well. Obviously, Nick Pope with his many years of experience now. He's in his 30s. You've got Dubravka, who's a leader in his own right. You've got Botman, who's one of the young leaders, probably future captain of this club if he stays for a long time. Trippier, England international. Jonjo Shelvey, who's been vice captain and captain for us before. Callum Wilson, experienced Premier League striker. Has been in multiple dressing rooms up and down the country. He knows how to lead. We've got plenty of heads in there now that can keep the calm when it comes to the crunch end of the season, whether we're pushing for European football or just a higher finish up the table. We'll be pushing all season long. We won't have stagnation. Hopefully we won't anyway, like we did in some of the games last season where we went on a run of particularly poor football. And I've never been particularly a massive fan of keeper being captain. I don't think you can think the whole point of being a captain on the pitch, at least, is to keep the team's shape. And just make sure everyone's doing their jobs correctly, and you can't do that from goalkeeper. You're just simply too far away from everything. I don't understand why Lloris is Spurs captain. I know he's the longest serving player or something at Spurs, but I don't understand why he's captain. I don't like it personally either. Motorhome Happiness saying, I think Eddie Howe deserves a new long-term contract to keep him at Newcastle for the next 5 years. We'll see what his contract situation is. Obviously, when he was appointed, there was a lot of, to be fair, there was a split fan base. Some saying, it's an appointment for the now to keep us in the league and build us for the next season. And then after that, we'll look to bring in someone a bit more experienced, like a Conte or something like that. And now some fans, after the run that he had, obviously keeping us in the league and the transfers that we've made and the impressive form that we found under Eddie Howe, some fans like yourself saying that, he should be rewarded for that. He should be given a long-term contract and take us forward in this new era. As Callum Wilson tackles Joe Willock in our... not Callum Wilson, sorry, Jamal Lascelles captains Joe Willock. Captains? Of course he captains him. Tackles Joe Willock in our own half, and Mainz will come again with about 10 seconds left of normal time. Whips the ball into the box, but that's really, really poor from the Mainz player. About 10 seconds left then, plus injury time if there is any. Obviously, it's a pre-season friendly, so sometimes referees choose not to add them on. Andrew asking, Murphy staying after the performances in pre-season? It's not a question for me to answer. I mean, as much as I like Murphy as an individual, he's really poor, and I think there's at least 3 players ahead of him in the pecking order. And then if we do invest in a winger as well, there'll be another one. So, Anderson's tripped over the ball in the box with probably the last attack of the game. And Wilson's been brought down, but he hasn't. He's fouled someone. No, I mean, Murphy, it would not surprise me in the slightest to see him head out on loan to a championship club or even be sold permanently. I really don't rate him that much. We saw him waste multiple chances last year. I think he's got good positioning. I think that's one of his aspects of his game that is a positive. He makes good runs to get in those goal-scoring positions or those goal-providing positions, but he just really lacks the final product for me, whether that's finishing. I mean, we saw him miss a sitter in this game, and the couple of times in the league last season where he was through on goal and he just made the complete wrong decision. But I would expect him to probably leave the club this summer. Well, you've switched it off, Dark by Design. You can't stand Murphy anymore. Well, you switch it off as the players are mobbed by fans running onto the pitch. I'm sure they won't want to see that after a 1-0 loss. Full-time whistle is gone here. Mainz 1, Newcastle United 0. Not the best performance. Some positives to take away from that, but not a whole lot, to be honest. Thank you to everyone that's joined us on the live stream so far today. We're going to have to call it very soon just because I've got to dash off and there's no one else to keep it going here. But thank you so much for joining us on Newcastle Fans TV. If you haven't already, drop a like on the video. We've hit 175 likes, which was a massive target that I set us. So thank you very much to everyone that has liked the video. If you haven't already and you have enjoyed, drop another one on it. See if we can hit 200 after the fact, and subscribe to the channel as well. Andrew pointing out the chat we just had a little bit earlier on. Fraser, we'd lose Fraser and Murphy to get to Yarby and keep Richie and Miggy. Well, that's up for debate. Let us know in the comments down below if you are watching after the match has finished what you think of that. And we'll keep this debate rolling until the first game of the season, when we see who stayed, who's gone, and who remains at the club when we line up against Forest on that first day of the season. But I'm pretty much going to have to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone that's been here from the start and everyone that's joined in the middle as well. Cheers to Jay for being here from the start and helping out in the comments below. I really appreciate that, mate. And if you want to become a member like Jay, it's in the link is in the description down below. Stay tuned this week. We've got plenty of videos coming your way. And next weekend, of course, we've got the charity match against the Magpie channel on Sunday. So if you're in Newcastle and you fancy coming down and watching and saying hello, it's at the Foundation, a couple of minutes away from St. James's Park. That's to raise awareness for the Foundation and funds, of course, for male mental health and stuff, as like everything that Foundation do as well. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of a dry throat. Thanks everyone for tuning in and keeping me company as well. I'm going to go and enjoy the sunshine now. I hope you do too. Try not to get in too much trouble. Enjoy yourself. Stay hydrated, and I'll catch you in the next video.